he heard the smoking lamp was out in Bluffdale.
In Bluffdale, the smoking lamp is always
Smoking
out.
lamp is out.
I don't think the smoking lamp is ever on in Bluffdale. Well, you were right. I said Steely Dan. Yeah. Oh boy, that'd be great. I'd like to hear, Bad Sneakers or Reelin' in the Ears or. And
Peg?
you said, well,
did
if
you
I
want to hear Peg?
maybe. But Carrie said, well, if I play some Steely Dan, you're not going to be happy. And I wouldn't say I'm unhappy. That is not really Steely Dan.
It's not. It's the birthday boy.
Yeah.
It's
On this day.
in 1948. Donald Fagen was born in New Jersey.
What's the name of the other guy? It was Fagan and Becker. Walter Becker.
Walter
Becker.
Who's gone, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So
He's gone.
And sometimes Chevy Chase.
Yeah. Really not familiar with that song.
You're not really?
No, not really.
That was I don't know if it was a hit. It was.
Not a hit.
It was.
No. It was a Donald Fagen solo album
Called
called The Night Fly.
Yeah.
And I got it at a record bar in Provo it was in the 99-cent bin.
Yeah, not a big hit.
I just liked the cover. I didn't know anything about it. I just went, for $1,
They did play. It was played on the radio though.
Yeah.
Well, sure, but it was not what you. But at any rate, I like it. I was like, geez, I'm not familiar with this, and I start reading. It's more Steely Dan than Steely Dan. You know what I mean? It's like.
Well, Steely Dan is Donald Fagen.
Well, and Walter Becker, but it tells me that that Donald Fagen is where the Steely Dan sound really comes from.
Mm-hmm.
I know Carrie and I have talked a lot about the Yacht Rock documentary, but Steely Dan is kind of the through line.
Seems beyond. It's beyond not rot. Rot yuck.
And Donald does not care to be associated with it at all.
I wouldn't think so.
He does not like the term.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's music that's. My wife does not care for Steely Dan at all. She says she thinks it's pretentious.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. And I understand what she means by that. I, however, think that some of their songs are just incredibly good.
Well, the people that make records love Steely Dan because they say nobody put it together better.
Yeah.
Like people that sold stereos back in the 70s and 80s would always use a Steely Dan song to show off how
this is going to sound in your car.
Yeah, well, just because they were produced so impeccably.
Yeah, yeah, they're. But I don't know. I remember the first hearing. What was their first hit?
Hang on.
Come on, Carrie. You're finding it. Yeah. Reelin' in the Ears. And I remember first hearing this and going, this is different than anything I'm hearing on the radio.
Well, it's kind of jazz. It's kind of prog rock. It's kind of.
And is Mr. Fagen the guitar player as well?
No. He was mostly keyboards and vocals.
And so who's playing the guitar? Just session guys?
Could be session guys. The way that documentary laid it out is that they used a lot of session people. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it was kind of beyond anything I was hearing at the time. Oh, I really like this one.
Well, this is all from the same album.
Yeah.
No.
Can't Buy a Thrill had several hits on it.
I think this is the first one I ever heard.
You heard Reelin' in the Ears before this.
I don't know.
Think?
So atmospheric.
Here, let me get into it.
At the border.
The whole Asia album is incredible as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they, yeah. And is Mr. Fagan doing anything these days?
He's hanging up on people.
Well, he was.
Leave me alone.
He was supposed to be touring, and he had a tour set which he canceled because he's undisclosed illness.
Old.
Because
he has a case of the old.
His illness is that he's old.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, it's thanks for playing that. I like that because I really was not familiar with it.
There you go.
This has been Farting Around with Carrie, Bill, and Gina on X96, Radio from Hell.
You know I'm a lyric guy.
Yeah.
Look up the lyrics for that song, New Frontier.
Yeah, I did. It's that's why I started following along with it going, oh, I really like this.
Yeah.
Oh.
So here you go. We'll take a break, and then we'll come back with your check-ins. 877-602-9696. Are you reeling in the years? Let us know. 877-602-9696. You can check in with us. We'd like to hear from you in the morning. Or you can text us if you like. That's okay. 33986 is the text number.
All right. Goldback.
Goldbacks, if you're looking ways to diversify and protect your wealth, Goldbacks is a way to do it. Consider investing in Goldbacks. You hear all these precious metals ads on TV and late-night TV. You think, it's too rich for my blood. Well, Goldbacks is a way you can get into it for not a huge investment. It's a local currency made of 24-karat gold, and local currency is the key there. They offer a physical, spendable form of wealth protection. Goldbacks will maintain their value because they're made from real gold, offering natural resistance to inflation. As the price of gold goes up, so does the value of your Goldbacks. Plus, you can earn up to 3.5% annually on top of gold's growth when you lease them through a precious metals account. So Goldbacks are also you can use them in person at over 800 Utah merchants. If you want to find out more, visit alpinegold.com. Use the promo code RADIO for free shipping on orders of over $200. You can watch. I'm the Beat Gina announcer, Johnny Ola, speaking to you today on behalf of Tip Top Spicy Fruit Loaf. Ooh. Plain or toasted, Tip Top is simply terrific. Never before a fruit loaf with so many pieces of delicious, good-for-you fruit, or just such a blend of delicate spices. The tip-top quality starts in our research laboratories, where every ingredient used in tip-top bread products is checked and rechecked to ensure the highest standards of purity and quality for you and your family. The tip-top spicy fruit loaf adds more appeal and more goodness to after-school and supper-time snacks, pops out of the toaster, golden brown and tempting for morning and afternoon teas. It's spicy fruit loaf time right now. So look for it in the cellulose pack with the red, white, and blue shield. Spicy fruit loaf is available in all capital cities except for Perth and Hobart. And now, ladies and gentlemen,
It's fruitcake, right?
Yeah.
it's like raisin toast.
Okay. All right.
Here he is, ladies and gentlemen, your host, Kerry Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola. Thank you very much. The randomizer has picked a contestant. You'll be playing against Candy today. Are you there, Candy?
Candy?
I'm here. Thanks for letting me listen.
Hi, Candy.
Candy.
Let's toss a
Hi.
coin to see who goes first. It will give you the advantage in the game. Heads or tails? You call it.
Heads.
All right. There we go. It is tails.
Candy, you're one step further away from winning these tickets to see Alanis Morissette August 1st at Utah First Credit Union Amphitheater.
All right, so this means that because Gina won the coin toss, the first question goes to her. She will answer it on her own exclusively. It's multiple choice, pop culture trivia. If she gets it right, she gets the point. If not, Candy, we'll let you answer the same question. And if you get it correctly, you'll steal the point away from Gina. We'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. Now, you're at a disadvantage already, Candy. What are you prepared to do in Gina's name if she wins?
I'm going to donate $50 to the Humane Society. I'm a regular donator.
Oh, good girl.
That's terrific. All right, so multiple choice pop culture trivia potpourri today because, well, why not? Let's see. We got a couple of leftover Inside Out questions.
Okay.
Because that movie is huge right now.
My daughter went to see it last night.
But this is for the first one.
Okay.
For the first Inside Out movie, Gina. According to the director, Pete Docter, each emotion is based on a shape. Joy is based on a star.
Okay.
Sadness is a teardrop.
Okay.
Anger is a fire brick. Fear is a raw nerve.
Okay.
What is disgust's shape? Is it 1, broccoli? Is it 2, a haddock? 3, a leaf? Or 4, a swallow? I'm not sure if it's an African or European swallow.
She's green. I'm going broccoli.
Broccoli is correct,
Yeah.
yes.
All right, that's a point for Gina. And now Candy.
Candy? Originally, Joy was supposed to team up with which emotion? Originally.
Okay.
What you see in the movie is not originally what happened. But originally, Joy was supposed to team up with which emotion? Was it 1, disgust? Was it 2, it was always sadness? Was it 3, anger? Or 4, fear?
I'm going to guess anger.
Anger. No, sorry.
No.
Fear?
Dang it.
Fear is correct.
All right, that's 2 for Gina, none for Candy. Gina controls the question. You may be just out of here in a moment's notice.
I'll say. Well, let's see. Scooby-Doo trivia.
Okay.
This is specifically the first live-action Scooby-Doo movie, 2002. This is one of the few Scooby-Doo projects to reveal the real first names of what characters?
Okay.
Is it 1, Scrappy-Doo, we find out is Scrapple. 2, the Black Knight Ghost as Jeremiah Old Man Wickles. 3, Scooby and Shaggy are Scoobert and Norville. Or 4, Fred's legal name is actually Gertrude.
It's Shaggy and Scooby.
Yes.
Gina wins the game just like that. Bing, bang, bomb. Sorry, Candy.
Sorry,
So
Candy.
sorry.
Oh, but look how nice Candy regularly gives to the Humane Society,
That is
not
nice.
just now. I think that needs to be rewarded, even though I beat you, Candy. We're going to go ahead and give you these tickets anyway to see Alanis Morissette August 1st at First Credit Union Amphitheater.
All right, hang on the line, Candy, and
Oh,
we'll
thank you.
get those tickets to you.
I've got to go and toast up some fruit loaf.
Fruit Loaf. All right, 6:20. Let's get this over with.
Come on, do it, you cowards. Call us. Check in with us. 877-602-9696 is the number. Check in with the Radio from Hell show. We do like to hear from you in the morning. You can also text us if you like. It's 33986. We have a sponsor here, Gina?
X96 welcomes Collective Soul January 20th coming to the Union. Ticket links and more at x96.com, and we very well might be giving away tickets to that coming up with Frank Christ Presents.
You say we might be.
Well, you don't know.
What you're saying there is that we will be, right?
Quite possibly.
I think we will be. The moon is 86.3% of full. It's a waxing gibbous moon. The moon will rise today at 1:59 p.m., today being Friday. It's the 10th day of January in the year of our Lord Jesus Christ, 2025. It's Quitter's Day.
Quitter.
They call it Quitter's Day because the second Friday of January is usually the day that people abandon their New Year's resolutions.
So we can be done today?
Well, it's the day that most people do it. But if you would like to continue, you already quit, didn't you?
I never
Last
started.
week. Oh, there you go. It's Oysters Rockefeller Day.
Ooh.
Oysters Rockefeller.
Nice.
Now, Carrie, you and I have had Oysters Rockefeller at the place they were invented, Antoine's in New Orleans.
Oh, really? That's right.
Invented by Antoine Alciatore, the proprietor of Antoine's in New Orleans in the late 1850s. He developed Oysters Rockefeller because he had run out of snails for the escargot. There was a shortage of snails. And he said, well, I want to use the same preparation kind of thing. I know, I'll try it with oysters. And they named them Oysters Rockefeller not because they were made for the Rockefeller family, but I forget the first name, Gifford Rockefeller or Shemp Rockefeller. He was the richest man in the world at the time.
And you and Carrie had them. I was there.
Yes,
but I
watching
didn't
us
have
them.
any.
Watching us have them.
I probably had steak.
Mm-hmm. Well,
They were delicious.
We probably had steak too. Oysters Rockefeller is just something to get your
More of an app.
yeah. It's Peculiar People Day. Just honor peculiar people in your life, and League of Nations Day. The League of Nations formed in the aftermath of World War I, the war to end all wars.
Oh, yeah.
And the League of Nations was the precursor to the United Nations. And this is the Radio from Hell show, starring the Lords of Morning Radio. Excuse me, it's the world-famous Radio from Hell show. Yes. Starring the world-famous Kerry Jackson, putting on his world-famous hat. I'm world-famous oyster eater Bill Allred. There's world-famous steak eater over there, Gina Barberi. Katie for short is our excellent producer. And we have, let's see, in the booth there, we have Sally. Jill.
Allison.
We haven't really officially met Allison
No.
yet. So once we do, I'll cement her name in my
Well,
memory.
you met Tanner a long time ago.
Who?
And can't seem to remember Tanner.
Who?
You know Tanner, who's been helping
I'm not
out.
sure.
No?
Oh, that guy that's been in there,
Yeah.
Wilford.
All right. Let's see. Ella the nanny checking in. Ella the nanny. Katie from Tooele. Mike in Nashville checking in. Thank you for my music school. I was recently trying to remember the song FM. Couldn't place it. It's Steely Dan. Thank you. It's a good one. It's Catherine's birthday today. She listens every morning to you guys every morning. She's 37.
Birthday. Happy birthday,
Oh,
Catherine.
happy birthday.
Some guy checking in early, past the coffee. Right Wing Wade checking in. HVAC helper Scott of Vineyard got a new job where medical and dental 100% covered by the company.
Excellent.
What?
Wow, I didn't know anybody
What?
had that.
I didn't think that happened anymore. Let's see. Shout out to my old foreman, Ryan, Jesse, and Russ for helping me get here.
Is anybody using the phone 877-602-9696 to check in with us via the telephone?
Cardboard Chris checking in. I would pay good money to hear Bill and Chris Provost interact with each other.
I wonder why.
I don't know.
Because he apparently
We can have Chris on any time.
sure, apparently he knows Chris. He knows how Chris is. Maybe he thinks we're a good match, or we would clash.
I think he thinks you would clash.
We would clash.
Well, I want to see that.
There's always the cool thing my parents love that I have to refuse, and for me it was Steely Dan. 35 years later, damn, best music opening ever. Well,
Ever.
Well,
see, that's what happens.
Geez.
Bus driver Troy checking in. Teresa of Draper checking in. Sketchy Blake of Vegas checking in. I'm here for CES this week.
Oh, tell us what the cool stuff is.
Oh, I've got a story in the news talking about some of that stuff.
Let's see. Magna Chris checking in.
They have a solar-powered car there.
I'm turning 40 this weekend. Was recently broken up with by a man who told me that being with me was like listening to a Steely Dan song.
That's a compliment.
I
You be
know.
glad you're not with that person
After
anymore.
hearing your segment, I think, yeah, did he mean I was well produced?
Exactly.
So
You are better off. Clearly.
let me find a
Maybe you're a big blonde with a touch of Tuesday Weld,
maybe.
wearing ambush and a French twist.
What are you looking for, Carrie Jackson?
I'm looking for a particular Steely Dan song
Which would kind of
I think
put a
would-
fine point on that.
that would help her.
This would make you feel better being.
You find somebody that appreciates you.
That's
that person did you a favor by breaking
that's,
up with
that's what people said to Walter Fagan all the time. You find somebody that appreciates you, Walter.
you. Donald, you mean?
Or Donald, I mean. This is Walter Becker, Donald Fagan. Were they out of Boston? Is that where they were?
New Jersey? I mean, they went to Bard College. That's where Chevy Chase went, too. Where's Bard College? That
I
sounds
don't
like
know.
it's in Massachusetts.
I don't know.
There we go. Let's see.
Okay, this is for.
Here we go.
Yeah, you're fine. You're
Mm-hmm.
good.
The danger of the rocks is slowly past, but
yeah,
still I remain tied to the mast.
You are good.
Yes.
Gina, Bard College is in New York.
Okay.
As Walter Fagan passed by the Red Balloon Cafe, he heard Becker practicing the electric guitar.
You there, boy.
Hey. I heard this
Would you
guy
like to
practicing,
be in
and
my
he
band?
was very professional.
To the well-produced person, just remember, if someone says that you're too much, tell them to go find something less.
Ooh, oh, I like that.
Johnny B checking in, listening while rummaging through the bottles to see what sounds good for Jimmy's spot today. I don't know what Jimmy's bringing us today.
Don't know.
Mikel Avrino checking in. Steely Dan was part of my musical education growing up. I agree with you, Carrie. Asia, one of the best, along with Pretzel Logic. Yes, it's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Mishak of Erda checking in to the RFH show. I don't know. When are we going to Anaheim?
World famous.
World
famous.
WFRFH.
I'm still getting used to that. Metal Shop Mark. Tree of Maine. Luis from Harrisburg, PA. Chef Roy. Tristan. Mauricio. Dawson. Farrell Fergal. Let's see. Lean to the left, Larry. Ron the Carpenter. Tim the Tree Guy. Everybody's here, so let's begin, shall we?
All right.
And you're all members of the Infinity team. I need all of your help telling me what you're seeing on the roads, like Right Wing Wade checking in from I-15 lanes, both directions moving along well. And I would concur, Right Wing Wade. I'm looking at the UDOT cameras. There are no issues so far this morning. Let's see if we can keep it that way. If it changes, you let me know via text at 33986.
All right. Coming up in the next, we got some messages and a song. And then after the song, it's Big Boy News and a Pinuendo. And then it's Frank Christ Presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine, the Dead Celebrity Game. Sean Means will be here to review movies. Boner of the Day, Have Another Drink with Jimmy, all of that coming up. Stand by.
Edition here of Beat Gina, the game show that America loves to play. Don't miss today's award-winning series, the ABC After School Special at 4:30. Peter Harris is a basketball star with a secret, and he's afraid to tell anyone. Peter is a top basketball player and, secretly, a brilliant ballet dancer. The only problem is his father and friends think ballet is for sissies.
Oh, no.
Can Peter stand up to the pressure once his secret is revealed? Don't miss It's a Special Gift with Steve Austin as Peter, Bill Sorrells as his father, and Alice Hinson as the mother, with Keen Holiday as Coach Sanford. Make sure you share this important presentation with your kids.
Please.
4:30 today on ABC's After School Special. And now, it's no secret that he's the best. Your host, Kerry Jackson.
Thank you so much, Johnny Ola.
You're welcome.
You know, remember those after-school specials? These days, that would be called grooming. All right. God, what a planet. Anyway. Let's see. Our contestant, the randomizer, is picking, and it is Neil. Are you there?
I am here.
Oh, Neil, you're going to play Beat Gina today, so let's get a coin toss in to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. Call it heads or tails.
Let's go with tails.
All right, coin toss app says heads. Gina is triumphant.
You are one step further away from winning these tickets to see Guns N' Roses October 24th at the Delta Center.
All right, because you lost the coin toss, Neil, that means that Gina gets the first question. Multiple choice. If she answers it correctly, she gets the point. If she doesn't answer it correctly, I'll allow you to answer it correctly, and you can steal the point away. And we'll go back and forth like that till one of you has 3 points. The TV show Friends premiered on this day in 1994. So we're going to have Friends trivia for you. Gina.
Yes.
What nickname did Monica's dad give her? Is it 1, Tiny Dancer? Is it 2, Little Harmonica? Is it 3, Monica Nucleosis? Or 4, Monic at the Disco?
Little Harmonica.
Little Harmonica.
And Elliot Gould played her dad.
Is that right? Okay.
Did either of them play the harmonica at any point?
I don't think
Apparently
so.
not.
Oh, that's dumb.
All right.
Neil, it's 1-0. Neil's turn.
Neil's question. Here we go. Let's go to this. What did Phoebe legally change her name to? Is it 1, Princess Consuela Banana Hammock? 2, Smelly Cat's Mommy? 3, Regina Phalange? Or 4, Nita Lee Hirschlag?
Let's go with that first one.
Princess Consuela Banana Hammock.
There we go. 1 for Neil. It's 1-1. Gina's turn now.
All right, let's see. Gina, what was the original name of the show? When they were developing it, it wasn't called Friends.
Okay.
They had another idea of it. What was the original name of the show Friends? Was it 1, Mein Kampf? Was it 2, Triumph of the Will? 3, Insomnia Cafe? Or 4, Central Perk?
Central Perk?
See, when she asked these questions,
Central Perk.
I'm terribly sorry.
She always has a querulous note in her voice, no matter what.
I know.
Does go to Neil for the steal.
One more time with the
Yeah.
answers.
The answers: 1, Mein Kampf; 2, Triumph of the Will; or 3, Insomnia Cafe.
Let's go with the Insomnia.
That
Cafe.
would be a good choice.
Yeah, it's 2-1 for Neil, and Neil controls the question. This could be the end.
It wasn't a good choice. That's why they changed the name. That's not a good choice.
No, Neil made a good choice.
Neil made a good choice. So it's Neil's question?
Yes.
All right,
And
Neil?
He could win on this.
What is the name of the comic book that Ross made when he was young? Now, all of these are real, except for the correct answer, which obviously was on the show and fake. So what was the name of the comic book Ross made when he was young? Was it 1, Battle Pope; 2, Science Boy; 3, Six Gun Gorilla; or 4, Shirtless Bear Fighter?
Let's try the Science Boy.
Yes, very good, Neil.
Woo-hoo!
Good. You're a Friends aficionado, apparently. Is that right?
I guessed on that last one, but I used to watch the show.
All right,
I
Neil,
remember that.
congratulations. You have won the prize, and we'll tell you how to get it if you just hang on the line, all right?
Guns N' Roses tickets.
Very
Very good.
Hang on.
Somebody just sent me this. I didn't realize, but the after-school special, a special gift, they won a Peabody Award for that episode.
Really?
Yes.
Okay.
All right, listen, I've got to go. I've got ballet class coming up.
Oh, good.
So, Gina,
Yes,
you went to the rodeo.
I did. My cousin Jubal, his son Rowdy, was representing the great state of California in the National High School Rodeo Championships,
Yeah,
which
what's his specialty?
saddle bronc.
Saddle, not bareback.
No, saddle bronc. I don't think they do bareback in high school. But it's called the National High School Rodeo. There were people there from Canada, from Mexico,
Those are
from
nations.
Australia,
Yeah, those are nations. That's
from New Zealand, and next year Italy's going to be there. Now, Rowdy's event is saddle bronc, and you don't bring your own animal for that, obviously. But if you are a team roper or a barrel racer, you got to have your own animal for that.
You can't rent them.
I mean, you can, but you probably want your own for that. So that means people from Australia and New Zealand were flying their horses to participate in this, to the tune of like $6,000 a pop to fly your animal.
Just think if you're a polo player.
Yeah, I mean,
you have to do the same thing.
all the time. And I think some of the countries that sent people, they're not expecting people to pay that. They help them do that. But
So how was it?
Well, so first of all, I went up with the Sainted Mary Claire, and she said, let's stay at the Little America because it's close by. They have the original Little America up there. And you guys know the story about how the Little America started.
I don't know. Earl Sinclair needed some place to...
No, he was working at a sheep ranch in Wyoming, and there was a horrible blizzard snowstorm. And he got stuck in the blizzard and had to ride it out in his truck. And he said a prayer to God and said, if I make it through tonight, I will build a hotel right where we stand. Because where the Little America is makes no sense. It is
I've always thought that.
What do you mean it makes no sense? It's right on I-80.
It's in the middle of nowhere. So anyway, we're going to stay at the Little America. Well, she had a friend who also had a grandson that was participating in the rodeo who went there a day earlier and said, well, I'll stay at the Little America. She called my mom and said, we left, and you also should not stay at the Little America. It's that bad. So there's a Hilton hotel in Rock Springs.
By the way, get ready for Earl Sinclair's phone call, Katie.
Well, then we might get a Hilton call, too. Rock Springs, so Mary Claire goes online to make a reservation at the Hilton there. And she's looking at the reviews. And it's good review, beautiful, newly renovated hotel. This is great. And the third review down says, there's bed bugs in room 202. Now, my mom, not just taking that at its word, called the hotel and said, I read online that and the manager that answered the phone said, thank you for calling and asking about that, because people can put reviews of anything they want, and they can't do anything about that. By the way, I'm going to need another break to actually talk about the rodeo because we're almost out of time. But the manager said, our newly renovated hotel doesn't have screens. So if people open the window, there's flying bugs and things that come in. And this woman brought a bug up to the front desk and said, look, I have a bed bug. And the lady's like, that's got wings. That's not a bed bug there. So long story short, we stayed at the Hilton, which was nice and did not have bed bugs.
I still think
a B-side to True Faith in 1987. New Order's 1963 was released as its own single on this day in 1995. Too many years for you to keep track of?
It's a lot of years.
Yeah.
You should reel those in.
Reeling in the years.
that was a callback.
Thank you.
Way to go, Gina. That was really good.
Let's see. We got big boy news and opinionuendo now. Then Frank Christ presents They're Fine, They're Just Fine. It's the dead celebrity game. Going to give you a list of 4 celebrity names. 3 of those celebrities are just fine. One of them is dead. Pick the dead one correctly. You will win.
Well, it's true. Collective Soul tickets are the prize.
It's not just maybe they're the prize.
I mean, I had to check, and it is official. It's Collective Soul tickets.
All right. Collective Soul tickets, all you have to do is play Frank Christ Presents right after this news at 877-602-9696. That is the number to call to play Frank Christ. Right after Big Boy News and Opinionuendo, brought to you by
Business owners, do you owe $15,000 or more on employment taxes and don't know what to do? McClure and Stewart, your local trusted tax attorneys. Go to McClureandStewart.com today.
Well, she was dead to me years ago, but apparently Anita Bryant lived until just a couple of days ago. Anita Bryant, the singer and former beauty queen who had a robust and flourishing music career, including hit songs like Paper Roses in the 60s and 70s, but whose opposition to gay rights, she called homosexuality an abomination, virtually destroyed her career.
Good.
She died back on December 16th. She was 84. You know what else it ruined was her pitch. She was a pitch person, a pitchman for Florida orange juice.
Yes.
Anita Bryant had commercials everywhere.
Gay
Florida
people drink orange juice.
Drink orange juice. And then she came out with her violent pronouncements of homosexuality being an abomination. And she lost her singing career and her job as a pitch person for Florida Orange Juice. The death at her home in Edmond, Oklahoma, was caused by cancer, her son William Green said. Ms. Bryant was just 18 when she won the Miss Oklahoma Beauty title and was named second runner-up as the Miss America pageant. She promptly turned that second runner-up status. She was not Miss America, second runner-up, but she turned that success into a lucrative show business career. For almost 20 years, she had a smooth run. She entertained troops on USO tours with Bob Hope, old Skinos, performed during Billy Graham's evangelical tours, co-hosted nationally televised parades. She sang the national anthem at the Super Bowl, Battle Hymn of the Republic at Lyndon Johnson's graveside. Most memorably, she represented the Florida Citrus Commission in a long campaign, television commercials, where she's come to the Florida Sunshine Tree. And breakfast without orange juice is like a day without sunshine.
It's true.
Remember that? Wearing gingham ruffles or both, she sauntered down country lanes with a juice pitcher in her hand and talked to cartoon birds and beamed with joy about the wonders of vitamin C. And then she started getting mouthy about homosexuality. And she founded Save Our Children, an anti-gay organization that gave rise to the modern day.
What about our gay children? What about them?
That gave, well, we want to save them. If they're gay, they're beyond saving.
Oh, yeah.
She wanted to, this was the very beginning, really, of today's religious right fervor.
Being in politics, you mean.
Yeah, she began it, really. And here we are.
No doubt she's in hell.
Her legacy lives on. Firefighters are slowly making progress on multiple wildfires burning in the Los Angeles area. According to Governor Gavin Newsom, over 7,500 firefighters are currently deployed. Crews from nearby states, Utah is one of them, are there to fight the fire, as are nearly 800 prisoners who may choose to serve alongside fire crews through the California Department of Corrections and Rehabilitation. Calmer winds have allowed crews to resume their air attack, but new fires are prompting additional evacuations, and weather conditions may deteriorate again over the next days.
So I talked to Aunt Nan.
Mm-hmm.
She's where
she's
in
Burbank.
in relation to the fire? Where
Burbank
is
is in between the fires.
Yeah.
But she hasn't had internet service, so she can't watch TV to see what's going on. But both of her sons, my cousins, are city managers. You guys know cousin Dominic, city manager of Arcadia, and my cousin Mark, city manager of San Gabriel.
Arcadia's way up north, though, right?
No, not terribly far. But they both of them had to move in with Aunt Nan because they were evacuated.
They were evacuated.
I'm thinking of
homes.
Arcata, not Arcadia.
And then, since they're city managers, they're having to go in and manage what's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And they had to borrow Aunt Nan's car, and she was home yesterday when, and I don't know if you were making this a boner candidate, Bill. L.A. County sent out an evacuation notice to the entire county. Mistakenly. It took them a half an hour. So you get this alert on your phone. You got to evacuate the entire county. Everybody's gathering up stuff and getting ready to go. And then they came back a half hour later and said, that was a mistake.
Psych.
Sorry.
Yeah. No, I do have a fire-related boner candidate. It's not that one. I could have maybe made Fonzie a boner candidate for getting all up in So Henry Winkler tweeted out, these fires were started by arsonists, and they need to be beaten beyond recognition. Now, one person has been arrested, a homeless person, has been arrested for, they suspect he might have started some fire. But there are not arsonists running around starting fire.
And these are different fires that maybe were started different ways.
And Henry Winkler just sort of stirred up all of this kind of panic, and that was not good. An iconic museum hailed as the world's only For Everything Bunny burned to the ground Wednesday in Altadena. The Bunny Museum, the Altadena Bunny Museum, which housed almost 50,000 bunny-related artifacts.
Oh, that's what it is.
Yeah.
It's just rabbit stuff.
For nearly 3 decades. And it's famous. People go seek it out. It was one of the more than 2,000 homes, businesses, and other buildings to have perished or been damaged as Los Angeles experiences its most destructive firestorm in history. A heartbroken and tearful Steve Lubansky, the co-owner of the Bunny Museum, said all of the old town, the iconic Altadena old town, is gone. I mean, seeing that it's gone hit me very bad. I've been there running the Bunny Museum for years, and now it's all gone. The Supreme Court, a divided Supreme Court, yesterday rejected Donald Trump's bid to delay his sentencing in his hush money case in New York. He will be sentenced this morning he will do no jail time, he will pay no fines, but his sentencing will mean that he is an convicted felon. A convicted felon.
First in American history.
Yeah. The court's 5-4 order clears the way for Judge Juan Marchand to impose the sentence. He was convicted, Trump was convicted of what prosecutors called an attempt to cover up with hush money, cover up that hush money payment to porn actor Stormy Daniels. He's denied any liaison with Daniels or any wrongdoing, although there is direct evidence that he wrote a check out while he was in the White House. Chief Justice,
you're okay with this, Spencer Cox?
Chief Justice John Roberts and Justice Amy Coney Barrett joined with the court's 3 liberals in rejecting the emergency motion. So there you go. Salt Lake City Police, an officer-involved critical incident investigation underway in following an officer shooting a man during a traffic stop early yesterday morning. According to the Salt Lake Police Department, one of their officers conducted a traffic stop. This is about 375 South, 765 West. It was like 1:40 in the morning. During the investigation, police say that a man not involved in the traffic stop approached an officer with a weapon. Police claim the 32-year-old man, who hasn't been identified, had a weapon. The officer shot the man, sent him to the hospital in critical condition. Finally, the 5 most sexually curious U.S. states have been revealed. Peachly, Australia's largest adult toy store, analyzed Google search data and compiled a list of the top 10 most sexually curious U.S. states based on who's searching for spicy items and asking sex-related questions. The racy results showed that many from conservative states were very curious to learn more and when the birds and bees talk. According to the study, Utah is the most sexually curious state. We scored a perfect 100.
Because it's something people don't talk about.
And they don't know anything about.
Yeah. Google. I mean, and it's as simple as things like, how do I kiss somebody? They Google things like that.
Curiosity about sex is a natural part of being human, especially in places where open discussions about intimacy may still be considered taboo, said Amy Williams, a sexual intimacy expert and CEO of Peachy. Many people seemingly starved for basic sex education are hitting up Google for a little bit of knowledge about things that they just don't know about.
Yeah. I blame the city of Draper.
Well, I don't know, Carrie. I think they know a lot about it. They know a lot about it.
They're very curious.
All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
Watched a good football game last night.
Who dat?
Notre Dame and Penn State. Bill, your Nittany Lions. It was close, right down like to the last 4 seconds of the game. But Notre Dame ended up winning 27-24.
Oh, darn.
Why?
Oh, dang it.
Sometimes you care and sometimes you don't. I can't.
About Penn State, sports, I do not care much.
So they are patiently waiting the outcome of tonight's game, which is the Ohio State Buckeyes and the Texas Longhorns.
Who's they patiently waiting? Notre Dame?
Yeah, because they're set. They're in the championship. They've got to see who they're going to play, though, and we'll find out today at 5:30.
So it'll be Notre Dame versus who?
Either Ohio State or Texas.
It'll be Ohio State.
I don't know. Let's see.
Ed, she doesn't know. You and I know, Ed. It's going to be the Ohio State Buckeyes.
Let's see. We all knew the Jazz were going to lose last night in
Yes.
Miami Heat.
That's what we bet on now is how badly they will lose.
It was close, though.
97-92. They play the Suns tomorrow afternoon at 3, and the Utah Hockey Club home tonight to the San Jose Sharks. That's at 7 o'clock. That's your sports weather. So increasing clouds today and slightly warmer than yesterday, 38 for a high. Those are increasing clouds because we have a storm coming in, about an 80% chance of overnight snow tonight into tomorrow, it looks like, and a high tomorrow of 35. A little bit of chance of snow on Sunday as well. Traffic, let me refresh this. We had been having a great commute so far this morning. Let's see if that has changed. It has not. I have no accidents or slowdowns to report, and I don't think you've sent anything in either. But if you do see something, please let us know via text at 33986.
The Grim Reaper of Celebrity Souls, Frank Christ, has joined us here in the studio now. He flies through the window. He's a magical being. Flies through the window on his electric scooter. You can just put the scooter right there.
Oh, thank you. Can I plug
yeah,
in?
Sure, plug it in.
Thank you.
Yeah. Frank is, as you would picture a Grim Reaper, a skeletal figure.
A sad Grim Reaper. Although you can't tell me you were sad about Anita Bryant.
No. I was happy, more than happy to take her to the distribution center.
Frank is charged with reaping the souls of celebrities, and that normally or mostly makes him very sad because he loves them.
I love our precious celebrities. As a matter of fact, if I still had a heart, it would be going out to all of our precious celebrities in Southern California right now.
Whenever a celebrity takes a dirt nap, Frank goes and collects their soul and takes them to the distribution center, and it just breaks his heart. But we play the game. Frank Chris presents.
They're fine. They're just fine.
Frank he's given me a list of actors, 4 actors, and on this list, 3 of them are.
Oh, they're just fine.
But one Frank has taken away, and it is the contestant's job to figure out who the dead celebrity is. And who do we have to play?
Jim is here.
Jim, is it? Hi, Jim. How are you?
I'm fine. I'm just fine.
It's good to hear, Jim.
Yes, you are, Jim. You are fine. You are just fine. Now, if you can identify the dead celebrity out of this list of 4, you will win what, Gina?
Tickets to see Collective Soul coming to the Union on January 20th. You can find ticket links and more at x96.com.
All right, you ready to go, Jim?
I'm ready to go.
All right, because it's League of Nations Day, the League of Nations was formed after World War I. Frank has given me a list of actors in movies set around World War I. One of these actors has gone belly up, and you have to find it. Here we go. Number 1, Ian Holm. He was Bilbo Baggins in Lord of the Rings and The Hobbit. He was Ash in the original Alien movie. Other notable films were Brazil, Dream Child, Henry V, Naked Lunch, The Madness of King George, Fifth Element, The Sweet Hereafter, and The Aviator. He was in the epic World War I film All Quiet on the Western Front. Number 1, Ian Holm. Number 2 is June Lockhart. She had a career spanning nearly 90 years. She started in films like A Christmas Carol and Meet Me in St. Louis, then lots of TV, including Lassie and Lost in Space, where she played mother roles. Lockhart also portrayed Dr. Janet Craig on the CBS TV sitcom Petticoat Junction. She played Gary Cooper's sister in the World War I movie Sergeant York. Number 2, June Lockhart. Number 3 is Diane Kruger. She began her career as a model in Germany and then transitioned into acting. She was in Wicker Park, Troy, 2 National Treasure movies. She also won awards for her work in Inglourious Bastards. Her World War I movie is the heartwarming Joyeux Noël, about a ceasefire Christmas celebration. Number 3, Diane Kruger. And finally, number 4, James Cromwell, known for his extensive work as a character actor. He's got a Primetime Emmy Award as well as a nomination for an Academy Award. He was in Babe. That's where he won his Academy Award nomination for Babe. Other notable roles were Star Trek First Contact, L.A. Confidential, Deep Impact, The Green Mile, Space Cowboys, The Longest Yard, his war movie, The Promise. Number 4, James Cromwell. All right, Jim, one of those actors is Toes Up. Which one?
Boy, I want to say June Lockhart because Petticoat Junction was a long time ago,
Yes.
but I believe the correct answer is James Cromwell.
No.
He's
Sorry.
Oh,
fine.
he's fine. He's a vegetarian.
Stretch Cunningham is great. He's doing well.
Vegan. He's vegan.
Yeah, and well, listen, I'll give you another chance. I mean, June Lockhart was a good choice too, but still
guess.
no. So you've got to choose between either or Ian Holm.
I think the correct answer would be Ian Holm.
Yes, Ian Holm died in 2020 at the age of 88. Long story. He had a very great career, man. He was the list of movies and the movies that you recognize goes on and on and on. Ian Holm is the correct answer. Congratulations, Jim. You got it on the third try, but that's okay.
Thank you.
Thanks, Jim.
And
Hang on the line.
Thank you, Grim Reaper, for taking Anita Bryant.
Oh, I was more than happy
Center.
to.
Much appreciated.
More than happy to. Luckily, my scooter had a full charge.
All right, Jim, hang on the line, Jim, and Katie will help you get your tickets.
All right, now, Rod Stewart's 80. Just wanted to mention that. Now, you guys have to get your lists together.
Yeah.
Are you coming back
For
to
your
talk to
Deadpool.
us, Frank?
Oh, I won't be coming back.
Oh,
no,
you won't.
I'll be
Okay.
busy, but you can lock in your lists
Okay.
at 8:45.
I sent you mine just a few minutes
You just
ago.
DM'd me?
Mhm,
Okay.
yes.
I will assemble them into a graph.
DM, in this case, stands for death message.
Yes.
I death messaged you.
So we'll have that for you at 8:45. The new Deadpools for 2025. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye.
Goodbye, Frank. There he goes. Out through the window in his electric scooter. I don't know how he does that.
We have a great commute so far this morning. I have no slowdowns or accidents to tell you about. Well done, everybody. Let's keep that up. If it changes and you notice that it changes, text us and tell us 33986.
Don't get in any accidents patting yourselves on the back, though.
No, please don't.
KXRK Provo will be back after these. Sean Means reviewing all the movies. Oh.
It's often said that people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day, and today's word is
Denture, D-E-N-T-U-R-E, denture. And now we're pleased once again to welcome to the show Dawn Griddle.
Excuse me, ma'am. It's Criddle.
What's Criddle?
My name. It's Criddle, not Griddle. In your introduction there, you called me Don Griddle instead of Don Criddle. I'm Don Criddle, Marimona, Utah.
Apologies. We are pleased to welcome to the show Don Criddle. Mr. Criddle is the mayor of Mona, Utah, and he will use our Utah word of the day as he delivers to us Mona Community Notes. Mr. Mayor, if you please.
Thank you. Hello. I'm Don Criddle, Marimona, Utah, and this is Mona Community Notes. And with me today is my boy Denver Criddle. He gets off school today because it's a Mona holiday.
Howdy, folks. I'm Denver Criddle, the son of the mayor of Mona, Don Griddle.
Denver.
Sorry, Dave. I just thought it was pretty funny when that lady said your name was Griddle. I just laughed and laughed and laughed. I bet the folks listening to us right now thought it was funny, too. I'll bet they just laughed and laughed and laughed.
Denver, why don't you tell everybody what today's Mona holiday celebration is?
Okie dokie, Daddy. It is Burl Ives Day today in Mona.
That's right. And do you know why it's Burl Ives Day?
No, Daddy, I don't even know what a Burl Ives is. Is it some kind of bush or shrub or something like that? Oh, no. I bet it's an animal, a rabbit, breed of dog or something like that. Am I right, Daddy?
Burl Ives was a man, Denver. He was a singer. And one day, I think this is back in the 30s, Burl Ives was passing through the town of Mona. And he stopped and he sang a song for folks. A song that was so dirty The mayor of Mona back then had him thrown in jail. And we celebrate the day because it represents the fact that Mona City has and always will do the right thing.
What was the dirty song, Daddy?
Well, it was called Foggy, Foggy Dew. And it's about an old guy who is a weaver and this young girl who's afraid of the bugaboo. But see, old Burl, he changed it to Foggy, Foggy Dew, with the dew part being this young lady's innocent. Well, oh, hell, Denver. That's all I can tell you because, well, it's just too dirty for a young woman.
Is it more dirty than that there once was an old hermit named Dave poem I heard you say once?
I told you to forget about that, Denver.
Oh, that's right. There's okie dokie, Daddy. I'm going to forget it right now.
You better forget it. I told you at the time you overheard that poem, you should forget it. And if you didn't, I told you I'd give you a whack that'd dent your head.
I've been trying, Daddy, but I keep thinking about that hermit named Dave and what he had in his cave.
Denver, I'll dent your head. Now, enough. We got to go downtown for the parade. I'm the Grand Marshal, and we are riding on the Burl Lives float.
Join us again some other time as we examine how the Utah natives speak with the Utah Word of the Day.
Like Al in Cottonwood did.
Cottonwood.
Yeah, and he says, I hope Sean Means is going to explain who Robbie Williams is in this movie, because I don't know who that is because I'm from Cottonwood.
Huh?
Okay.
You'll see.
Sean Means.
Okay.
You're reviewing movies brought to you by.
Don't miss the return of Lights, Camera, Brunch, our annual film-themed Not Safe for Work podcast with brunch, beers, and more. Sunday, January 26th at Squatters Pub. Space is limited. Buy your tickets at x96.com.
All right, here he is, Sean Means. He is a reporter and editor at the Salt Lake Tribune. You can read things that he does there and not see his invisible hand as an editor at sltrib.com. You can read his movie reviews. He's a movie reviewer at moviecricket.net, and he's here to tell us about movies that are opening this weekend. Hi, Sean.
Hello.
What's up?
Well, we got 3 movies opening this week. I've seen 2 of them.
Okay.
They did not screen Den of Thieves 2 Pantera.
What?
What a surprise.
They didn't screen the first Den of Thieves back in like 2018 or whenever. So, and if they did, I never saw it. This is the first one was a heist movie with Gerard Butler and O'Shea Jackson Jr. That's Ice Cube's son. And this one brings them back together again for more heisting or whatever.
More heisting.
It says Big Nick is back.
Yeah, if you think you might like a Gerard Butler action movie that opens in January, then you haven't been listening to a thing I've said, and there's really nothing I can do for you.
There's no help for you.
We will move on to The Last Showgirl.
I've heard about that.
Yes.
Pamela Anderson.
This is a drama directed by Gia Coppola, who is Francis Coppola's granddaughter, Sophia's niece. It's set in Las Vegas, a showgirl review that's been going on for 30 years or more. The news the news is that they're about to close. 2 weeks and they're done. And this especially hits one of the showgirls very hard. Shelley, she's been there for most of the 30 years.
Wow.
This could be a true story.
Yeah,
you know?
she's played by Pamela Anderson, who is deservedly getting some good reviews for this performance. She got a SAG Award nomination the other day. She's trying to weigh her options. She thinks about auditioning for one of the smuttier showgirl shows in Vegas. She thinks about becoming a cocktail waitress like her friend Annette, played by Jamie Lee Curtis. She's also considering her relationship with Eddie, the show's stage manager, who's played by Dave Bautista. And she's trying to figure out her relationship with her daughter, who's in college, and there's some very estranged circumstances going on there. She's played by Billie Lourd.
Oh.
And a couple of the younger showgirls who are with her are played by Brenda Song and Kiernan Shipka. So
Okay.
this is this really captures the sort of ragged beauty of Los Angeles very well. A lot of the
Las
outdoor
Vegas.
of Vegas. Did I say Los Angeles?
Yeah.
No. Of Vegas.
Yeah, Angeles on the mind.
Yep. Of Las Vegas. There's a lot shot like right after sunrise or right before sunset, so the light is coming in at just the right angle. It is a really strong vehicle for Pamela Anderson. You can argue she doesn't have the most breadth as an actress.
A great range.
You wouldn't necessarily want to see her do Lady Macbeth or something, but here this role is very narrowly tailored, and it's really perfect for her, and she's the reason to see it.
All right.
How's Dave Bautista in it?
He's fine.
He looks very different.
I find him to be a very interesting actor, actually. I mean, for somebody that used to be a big bruising wrestler, he's great at comedy. You look at the Guardian films, but you look at Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah.
He made that movie.
He scared the hell out of you.
Yeah.
Or no, I'm sorry, Knock at the Door. Knock at the Door.
Knock at the door. Yeah.
Sorry.
It was in a cabin in the woods.
It was in a cabin in the woods. That's what. Yeah.
Now,
3 stars.
3 stars for Last Showgirl. Now, Better Man.
Yes.
To my point, I was saying we here don't know who Robbie Williams is, but he's a thing.
We in America, Robbie Williams, like Kylie Minogue, he's like soccer. He's really popular everywhere in the world except America.
Yeah,
He's a big thing.
no one's going to go see this movie here,
I don't know.
are they?
He was a British singer. Started in a boy band called Take That when he was 15. Did that for a while, and then went solo and became sort of a all-around entertainer type. He does a lot of covers. The only song of his I remembered offhand was he sang the old song Beyond the Sea.
Yeah, that's right.
On the closing credits of Finding Nemo.
Yeah.
That's it. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's it.
The old Bobby Darin.
The old Bobby Darin song, right? So in this movie, this is a very straightforward musical biopic in that it shows his life and how fame and sex and drugs and rock and roll and all that, especially the drugs, lots of drugs. And there's a lot of energy, and there's some strong musical numbers to sort of depict the rapid rise of the boy band Take That in the 90s. If you actually know any of the songs, and I didn't and I still don't, you'll really love those parts. It reminded me more of Rocket Man, the Elton John
kind of
movie.
like that style.
That kind of style from a couple years ago, where it would break into song, break into musical numbers in the middle of things. Not so much like a Bohemian Rhapsody, which I felt was just very straightforward and boring as all get out.
Yeah.
The big conceit here is how the movie depicts Robbie himself. You've probably seen this in the ads. Robbie is depicted they describe it as this is the way he sees himself. And he is a computer-animated chimpanzee in human clothing.
What?
Yeah. That's exactly.
I did not stutter. He is a computer-animated chimpanzee in human clothing.
Yep.
Who does drugs?
Who does drugs? Who does drugs? Who dances with hot women? All of it. There's a performance capture actor named Jono Davies. He shares the role with Robbie himself. Robbie does the voice for himself. I think it's a really smart idea because it is a great symbolism for one thing, but it also keeps the viewer from thinking too much about the performer who's playing the star. You don't have that whole how well does Timothy Chalamet sing like Dylan question.
Yeah.
You don't have that in this. I think it's got problems. I mean, it is still just a biopic, and every cliche that Walk Hard punctured is here. But if you're a fan of this kind of 90s music, it's a very sharp, energetic movie. The director, Michael Gracie, he did Greatest Showman, So it's very much like an old school musical in that way. I gave it 3 stars.
3 stars
for Better Man.
All right.
It's playing. I've seen others give it more. I've seen others give it less. It's playing all over the place, but it's fascinating for what it's doing.
It's on. You sort of appreciate it for.
Yeah.
I understand what
That
you're
is a different approach.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. I mean, and in the end, the way you describe it, it goes, oh, well, that, okay. I see
That's
where
kind
you're
of
going.
interesting, but I still don't care.
Yeah. I won't
I
rush
do
out
think
to see it. But,
if you're not a Robbie Williams fan, I can't imagine that people are going to be rushing to see this unless
I think
kids are like monkey.
I think this could. Well, I mean,
got me.
Well, kids don't. No,
Don't take kids.
Kids, no. This is rated R. It's as the aforementioned sex and drugs and rock and roll. Don't do that. But it's. I don't know. I think it. I don't know if it could make you a Robbie Williams fan or I mean, the music is good. In his later career, he's like I said, he's been more about doing the old school. He grew up with his father listening to Sinatra and whatnot, and the big finale involves a performance of My Way.
Okay.
So, I still think Gary Oldman doing Sid Vicious's version of it in Sid and Nancy is the all timer for that song. But that's just me.
All right.
All right, so there you go. It's Better Man, 3 stars.
What do we got next week?
Next week we got a lot of the big end of year movies are finally arriving in Utah. We got September 5, which was on my top 10 list. It's a thriller set in the control room of ABC Sports during the '72 Munich Olympics.
Oh yeah,
and
didn't Steven Spielberg already do this?
He did Munich, which was started with the Munich with the terrorist attack on the Israeli team in the Munich Olympics, but it was more about the actions that happened after.
Oh yeah, okay.
That one. This is set entirely in the news in the control room, where you've got this young director guiding traffic and could where the cameras go and everything, and his boss Roone Arledge of ABC Sports having all the fights to keep the news division from taking the story over, things like that. You also got The Brutalist, which is one of the big award season movies. Adrian Brody is an immigrant architect building his dream structure. It's 3.5 hours long, includes an intermission, but it's amazing. Nickel Boys, which is also amazing. Hard Truths, which is a Mike Leigh drama about 2 sisters in England, one of whom is the angriest woman you've ever seen in a movie.
Really?
And then for people who don't want the highbrow things are going to win award stuff, Wolfman.
Wolfman!
A new version of Wolfman with Christopher Abbott and Julia Garner.
All right, cool.
All right. Well, thank you very much. Shaw Means, you can find all of his stuff either at sltrib.com. Probably the best place to go is moviecricket.net. Thank you.
Thank you. Traffic, Gina, please.
And in moments, your next keyword in the damn contest. In mere moments.
Yes.
And it will be mere moments because I don't have any traffic to tell you about. We are doing great. I haven't had one accident reported this morning. Well done, everybody. Let's keep that up. If it changes where you are and you want to let me know, you can do that via text 33986.
All right. Coming up after these messages and a song. The song is If You Know, You Know. Stick around for that. Boner of the day.
Here are the boners you're going to be voting for. Number 1, the chickens have come home to the rented roost. Number 2, Utah Father of the Year. And number 3, he is just an example of who runs the country now.
All right, Boner of the Day coming up after these messages and a song. If you know, you know. Stick around for that. Ranlife.com. Yes, that's right. You warned me. You warned me.
Win $1,000 in another Flippin' Cash contest on X96. Listen for keywords that we will announce at approximately 7:15, 10:15, 1:15, and 5:15. Each keyword is a unique entry for you. Listen all day to increase your chances of winning. It's just pure bribery to get you to listen longer. All the rules are at x96.com. I'm going to give you a keyword here and a different text number than we use for other things. That text number is 508-777-1000. That's 508-777-1000. The keyword is joy. Joy, Joy, joy. Text that to 508-777-1000 now to enter to win.
All right. Ranlife.com/X96.
Yep, Ran Life, a local mortgage company. they got you covered if you're looking for a mortgage to get a new home, because they've reduced their floor rate, slashed it down to 3.25% on a 3-1 adjustable rate mortgage for FHA and VA loans. That's incredibly low, 3.25%, and that means you have more purchasing power. You could get a bigger house. You could move up, to a deluxe apartment in the sky. You could finally get that gourmet kitchen that you want, all within reach. Don't wait. Turn your dream into an address with Ran Life. Visit ranlife.com/X96. Learn about their incredible new low rates. That's ranlife.com/X96. They're a local mortgage company, as I mentioned. They've had my mortgage in the past, and they are terrific. Let Ran Life help you unlock the door to your perfect home. Presence. I can feel him in the room, even though Frank Christ, the Grim Reaper of celebrity souls, is not with us this morning. He was very busy.
He's just fine.
He's fine. He's just fine. Yes. And by the way, do we have contestants lined up to play?
We
Christmas?
do.
Okay.
We have Daniel.
Daniel. Hi, Daniel. How are you?
I'm good.
You're good.
You're cutting in and out, Daniel. Try it again.
Oh, I must be fine.
There you go.
Fine.
Yes.
There we go.
There you go, Daniel. You are fine. You're just fine. Frank Chris could not be here today because, well, he was tired from Glennis Johns, and then he wouldn't say, but he said, "There's an emergency situation, and I've had to park my scooter next to the bed in a convalescent home."
It could happen at any moment.
Yeah, of some celebrity who's just ready to go. So, but he gave me a list here, so we can still play the game. Frank Chris presents. They're fine. They're just fine. All right, Daniel. Because today is National Ellen Day, Ellen, an English girl's name meaning torch or shining light. Frank gave me a list of famous Ellens. Famous Ellens. All right, so you have to select the Ellen that is dead on this list. 3 of them are fine, but 1 of them Frank has claimed. Here we go. Number 1, Ellen Geer. Her father, Will Geer, was best known for playing Grandpa on The Waltons. Geer, Ms. Geer, Ellen Geer, began her film career appearing as a nun in a movie called Petulia. She followed that with an appearance in The Reavers with her father, Will. Then she did primarily guest appearances in made-for-television movies like Police Story, The Streets of San Francisco, Beretta, Barnaby Jones, Charlie's Angels, Chips, and Fantasy Island. Number 1, Ellen Geer. Number 2, this name is not very familiar, but Ellen Albertini Dow. She played the rapping Grandma Rosie in The Wedding Singer.
I know exactly who that is.
Performing Rapper's Delight. Her other film roles included Mary Cleary, who outs her grandson in Wedding Crashers, Disco Dottie in 54, the recipient of Christopher Lloyd character Slapstick in Radioland Murders, and a choir nun in Sister Act. She was also known to small screen audiences for her guest appearances on sitcoms like The Golden Girls and Will and Grace. Number 2, Ellen Albertini Dow. Number 3, Ellen Cleghorn. Known for her tenure as a cast member on Saturday Night Live, Cleghorn made appearances on the Nickelodeon show The Adventures of Pete and Pete, playing a bus driver, and she appeared in independent films and comedies including Mr. Wrong, Armageddon, Coyote Ugly, Little Nicky, and Old School. Number 3, Ellen Cleghorn. And number 4, Ellen Barkin. Her breakthrough role was in the film Diner. Following year, she had starring roles in films like Tender Mercies, Eddie and the Cruisers, The Adventures of Buckaroo Banzai Across the Eighth Dimension, The Big Easy, Johnny Handsome, and Sea of Love. Number 4, Ellen Barkin. Daniel, which one of those Ellens is dead?
Could it be number 1?
Ellen Geer? No. No, I'm terribly sorry. Ellen Geer, it's a good guess. She's fine. She's 82, and she runs a theater company in California that was established by her father. I'll give you another chance, though, Daniel. Unlike Frank Christ, we believe in second chances here. So listen carefully. Is it Ellen Albertini Dow or Ellen Cleghorn or Ellen Barkin?
Ellen Albertini Dow.
Correct.
Excellent work.
She died in 2015.
R.I.P.
Yes, rest in peace. She died in 2015 at the age of 101.
She would have been negative points if you had her on your day.
Yeah, that's right. So, Daniel, you're going to go see Alkaline Trio. Have you ever seen them live?
No, I haven't.
Well, they're. Hey, listen, I was wrong, or maybe I was right. Yesterday, we were talking about TV shows, and I was saying that show, The Watcher, and I'd watched 2 episodes of it, and my wife and I, we didn't care for it. Just went, it's not that good. I'm not going to watch it. Well, I don't know. We needed something to watch last night for some reason, so we watched the 3rd episode, and I went, oh, okay.
Now you get it.
Now maybe. And I want you to tell me a little bit about the real story.
Okay.
But I said, oh, yeah, okay. And as a matter of fact, as the episode went on, I said to my wife, I'm getting queasy.
Yeah.
Just because something's going to happen that's just icky.
Now,
I can tell.
Have you seen your friend in it at all yet?
Yeah, she's been in and gone, and I won't tell you how.
Okay.
But Margot Martindale. Now, so I liked it, and I'm going to keep watching it. But then I saw something online today. It said people are upset with the finale, and they think it stinks, the last episode of The Watcher. But I'll find out for myself. But I don't really know the real story.
So the real story is there is no ending. The real story is the family moved, and they never found out what happened.
Did they?
So the TV show that you're watching, they try to tie it together, but in the real story, they still don't know who the Watcher is.
So I don't want to give anything away. Hey, listen, I was wrong, or maybe I was. I could have maybe had better boner candidates.
Oh, those are good. Why?
Well, I mean, listen. Listen. I mean, I still have in that. So I have a little file that says "boner on deck." That's where I put the ones that I'm
where
considering.
they're warming up.
Okay. Yeah, that's the ones I'm considering. Listen to some of these titles, and then maybe I'll tell you about a couple of them. Woman names newborn son methamphetamine rules.
That one kind of speaks for itself.
Yeah, well, it's not what you think.
Oh.
Yeah. Woman spreads dead brother's ashes in a packed club pool in Ibiza. Police officer, no, I don't want to do that one. How about Gilbert Arenas podcast slams Utah. Move the Jazz to Seattle, he says. And it's just him slamming Utah.
Okay.
Aussie man fined over $2,000 for taking his pet python surfing.
I have questions.
He was just on a surfboard, and the python was around his neck.
And so he's like, oh, look at me.
If you fall and the python
Yeah, that's why he got fined.
Exactly.
Yeah. Teen dresses up as married woman to rob bank.
How do you dress up as a married woman?
As you can see, I'm married.
Hello. A giant.
I'm here to take money out of my husband's account.
I think that's exactly what he did.
My husband.
Yeah. Teacher cuts girl's hair without permission. Now here's one you really might want to hear this one.
Okay.
Trump aide Cassidy Hutchison claims Rudy Giuliani groped her on January 6th.
I believe it.
Yeah.
And you want to hear?
I saw the Borat movie, so
You want to hear any of these? How about let's woman names newborn son methamphetamine.
Yeah, when you're saying it's not what you think,
Yeah.
I'm curious what that means.
Yeah, and I've had this in the file for a few days. It's New South Wales, Australia. An Australian journalist, Kirsten Drysdale, is currently in a newborn bliss bubble, having recently welcomed her child with her husband, Chris. There's just one problem. Her son's legal name is Methamphetamine Rules.
What?
The New South Wales...
Well, that's just too hard to spell. He's going to have a hard time in kindergarten spelling.
Well, they call him MR. The Registry of Birth, Deaths, and Marriages. Now, see, so you think, oh, well, she's the boner candidate, right, for naming her kid? No, that's not where it is. The registry let the name slip through the cracks during its submission process, despite offensive terms being prohibited. A spokesperson told News.com that they've since strengthened their system to avoid it happening again. Okay, mistakes happen, but why would Drysdale name her child methamphetamine rules to begin with? Gee,
Postcards from Paradise. If you know, you know.
that's a deep dive.
Indeed. All right. Well, here we go. Let's begin. Boner of the day. 3 news stories. These will be examples of bad, stupid, or funny human behavior, and you will decide with your vote of these 3 candidates which one is the worst, which one deserves to be Boner of the Day for today, January 10, 2025. We'll give you 2 candidates now, a third after the news. Once you've heard all 3, you will vote. One of you lucky random Boner voters will receive...
Can't buy it. Gotta win it. Radio from Hell Boner t-shirt.
Boner candidate number 1. This is just an example of the kind of person who's running our country now. A millionaire has been slammed for asking if any private firefighters are available to protect his home as devastating wildfires ravage Los Angeles. Keith Wasserman, an L.A.-based real estate developer, swiftly deleted the post in which he requested private firefighters to come to his Pacific Palisades home. Quote, does anybody have access to private firefighters to protect our home in Pacific Palisades? Need to act fast here. All of our neighbors' houses are burning. We'll pay you any amount. Thank you.
I mean, let them go, but I'll pay for you to save my house.
The post was made on Wednesday as flames were ravaging the dry hills of the north part of Los Angeles County. Wasserman's post was met with swift commendation. Condemnation.
Different.
His post comes as 6 people have died as uncontrollable wildfires have been engulfing the area. 179,000 people have been evacuated. 400,000 homes left without power. 30,000 acres burned. Firefighters maxed out. Terrified families screaming and running for their lives. Celebrity homes torched. A millionaire wants to hire private firefighters to protect his burning neighborhood, his home. Another user said, you know, Mr. Wasserman tweeted back in October of 2021, real estate ballers don't pay any taxes, you know.
Oh, he's one of those.
Yeah. Oh, and he tweeted at Trump as well, saying, let's get rid of property taxes.
Yes.
You know, the things that pay for
firefighters.
We need to get rid of property taxes. And then when people criticized him for that, he said, I'm being trolled by these people.
Trolled?
This is called out for bad behavior. That's what trolling is.
This is an example of the kind of person
and the kind of world that we're entering.
Running our country.
Yep.
Boner candidate number 1. Actually, you know, I got those out of order. I'm sorry. That was boner candidate. Supposed to be boner candidate number 3. Can you switch those? We'll put that as number 1 again. Number 1. Here's boner candidate number 2. The chickens have come home to the rented roost.
Oh, yeah.
Are you following me in there, you guys? Okay, thank you. A Shanghai man, China, was shocked to find that the apartment he had rented out 2 years ago had been turned into a chicken coop. Imagine putting all of your savings into buying and renovating an apartment, renting it out for a small profit, only to find that the tenant had been using it for a couple of years to raise chickens. It sounds like a joke, but it is the true story of a Chinese man who was recently alerted by his neighbors that there was something going on, strange noises, an awful smell coming from the apartment that he had rented out to a tenant 2 years ago. Content to receive the monthly rent on time, the man hadn't really checked on the apartment until last month, when he was shocked to find it full of chickens roaming and flying around the place.
We can see pictures of it at x96.com/live.
It stinks. The floor and the wall completely destroyed. It needs an overhaul. It should be redecorated completely. Otherwise, nobody can live there. The landlord complained that the rent he received from the tenant over the last 2 years wasn't nearly enough to cover the cost of the required renovation.
Him in eggs, though.
I mean,
There you go.
that's just terrible. It's a horrible thing to have happen. The rented chickens have come home to roost. I mean, the chickens have come home to the rented roost is boner candidate number 2. I think I'm dyslexic this morning. Coming up, Utah Father of the Year.
Boner candidate number 3 after this big boy news and opinioendo brought to you by
Feldman's Deli, Utah's authentic Jewish deli with expanded hours, now open Tuesday through Saturday, 8 a.m. to 8:30 p.m., breakfast till 10:30, lunch, dinner, live music Fridays and Saturdays. More information at feldmansdeli.com.
Well, the movie Wicked, of course, a huge hit. And it's just the first part.
Mm-hmm.
There's Wicked Part 2 coming, although the official title of Wicked Part 2 is not Wicked Part 2.
Is it Wickeder?
It's Wicked for Good.
Ooh.
And people are saying, what? Why are you calling what a Wicked for Good? Why? That's kind of... Well, the director, John Chu, says, who wants a movie called Wicked Part 2? He said,
He's not wrong. That's not a
yeah, he says on the script it always said for good, and so that was just a point like, do we really want to call this part 2? Nobody wants that. The title is a reference to the penultimate song of the hit Broadway musical, in which Elphaba, played by Cynthia Erivo, and Glinda Ariana Grande sing about how their relationship has impacted their lives. Chu noted that no other film titles were under consideration. We call it Wicked for Good. We know it's like where we're going with this movie, and we want to finish it, and it is Wicked for Good.
Well, the play. I haven't seen the play, but it's about the fall of the Witch of the West, right?
So she's wicked for good.
She wasn't always evil.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
See,
It
there
shows you what drove her to that.
Makes sense.
Yeah. It's really quite a good. I've seen the play. I haven't seen the movie. And the play, I was pleasantly surprised by how good the play was. The high school where Brian De Palma brought Stephen King's Carrie to life.
Yep.
Burned. Will Rogers Ranch House, a motel owned by William Randolph Hearst, among the famous structures that have been damaged or destroyed by the California wildfires. Los Angeles is a town full of landmarks. Thanks to its co-starring role in over a century's worth of movies.
Oh, the Hacks house burned down. Deborah Vance's house.
The Hollywood Bowl, the Chinese Theater, the Dolby Theater, where the Oscars are held, initially seemed imperiled by the Hollywood Hills fire, but they are largely unharmed as of yesterday. But the fires have taken a toll on other familiar spots. Brian De Palma's adaptation of Carrie, starring Sissy Spacek, that Poly
I thought
High
he
School.
burned it down in that movie. I didn't know it was still around.
Will Rogers Ranch House. I mentioned before the Bunny Museum.
One of the things my aunt was saying is that, okay, we'll get the fires under control at some point.
Mm-hmm.
There's just ash.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, where do you even start to clean it up?
With flames still galloping through L.A., the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints has assured those affected that it is committed to supporting what is sure to be a long and difficult recovery. Our hearts go out to all affected by the fires that continue to cause destruction in Southern California, said Mark A. Bragg, president of the Mormon Church's North America West area. At this time, the church is mobilizing its resources. Our prayers are with those who have lost their homes and are displaced. The General Authority of the 70 was born in Los Angeles. He attended UCLA, married his wife Yvonne. There are a lot of very, very strong Mormon communities in Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. The church, he says, is committed to helping during this emergency and throughout the aftermath. He encouraged everybody who was able to assist those in need in L.A. They didn't release any specifics or details about what they're exactly going to do, and they didn't say whether I'm sure there are Mormon churches in L.A. that have been burned.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
The church did not detail any of that damage, but I'm sure it's happened. And, of course, conservative weirdos are blaming things they consider to be liberal politics as the cause of the massive firestorm. Charlie Kirk raged about Los Angeles having women in key roles. He believes The current fires would have been managed if there were only more white men fighting the fires.
Did he say white men?
Well, it's in
He
quotes.
says it without saying it.
Oh,
you know,
okay.
Well,
I'm
everyone is saying without saying white men.
I mean, I know that they
But that's-
believe that, but did he
that's where
say
they're-
that out loud?
California's where all of the diversity, equity, inclusion, critical race theory, LGBTQIA plus ideology has been festering, he said, and they have intentionally tried to drive out all of the white people from the firefighting force in Los Angeles.
Wow.
We don't need white men to fight fires, they say.
Yikes.
Here's the thing, though, is if you look at the fire chief in charge, her resume is amazing.
Oh, she's one of the 4 lesbians running the fire department.
She has
according
been
to Charlie
for
Kirk.
25 years been in the fire department.
In
so,
fact-
I mean, come on, Charlie.
In
Idiot.
fact, one of the articles that was published as the fires were raging from Pride magazine amid Palisades fire, Los Angeles, first LGBTQ plus fire chief is proving that lesbians get it done.
It's 100-mile-an-hour winds, Charlie, that are pushing sparks and causing fires.
Well,
across,
white men could stop that.
across an area that's twice the size of Manhattan. Okay.
A student was booked into juvenile detention center in Springville after threatening another student with a gun at Springville High. Police say the student faces related charges of aggravated assault, brandishing a weapon, and bringing a dangerous weapon to school.
What, Carrie?
Now, that's the exterior of Springville High School.
Yeah.
You see their sign?
Well, yeah.
It's a pitchfork.
Well, yeah.
For the devil.
Because they're the Red Devils? Or,
Devils.
Karen Pence at the Jimmy Carter funeral yesterday.
I love this.
I mean, most people attending former President Carter's funeral put their differences aside when it came to the presence of Donald Trump. Even former President Obama was caught on camera kind of looking to be having a friendly little chat or something.
It's assigned seating.
Yeah.
He has no, this is where you sit.
While former Trump lackey Mike Pence joined in the charade, stood up and shook Donald Trump's hand. That was the first time, I think it's the first time they've even seen each other.
It is, pretty much.
Since 4 years ago. But his wife, Pence's wife, Karen,
Mother?
did not partake in any of those shenanigans. She refused to stand up when Trump came in, let alone shake his hand. She's a hardcore Christian who reportedly refused to say hello to the indecent president-elect even back in 2016, when the former party grabber became the U.S. leader. She just snubbed him. So I guess I applaud her.
W snubbed him, too.
Oh, did he? Salisbury man who died Monday. This is in North Carolina, I believe. Charlotte? Is that North Carolina?
Sure.
He died Monday after he was shot by 2 Kannapolis police officers over the weekend. This guy was the Pizzagate gunman.
Yep.
Oh, my.
Who was arrested in Washington, D.C. in 2016 when he terrified people with a loaded AR-15 inside of a restaurant. Edgar Madison Welsh. The man killed made national headlines in 2016 when he entered Comet Ping Pong, a pizza restaurant in Washington, armed with an assault rifle, loaded revolver, drove from Salisbury to the nation's capital in search of the alleged child sex ring linked to Hillary Clinton.
It's in the basement. There's no basement.
Something he learned about from a fake news story.
Yeah.
Well, around 10 p.m. Saturday, Welsh was seated in the passenger seat of a car. Officers pulled it over. A Kannapolis Police Department said they recognized the vehicle because they've had dealings with Mr. Welsh in the past. Apparently, Mr. Welsh was armed, and he pointed a weapon at the police, and they shot him to death. It was inevitable, I suppose. All right, that's it.
Weather, traffic.
Well, it's 25 right now, going to be slightly warmer for a high today than we had yesterday. 38 with increasing clouds. Those clouds are increasing because we have a little storm system coming through. Should be after 8 o'clock tonight is when that's likely to start. A better chance of it tomorrow. High of 35, and some lingering snow showers actually continuing on into Sunday. So we won't see a ton of accumulation down here in the valley. Maybe a little bit, but the cottonwoods are expected to get quite a bit. Traffic, whatever you guys are doing today, you should do that every day.
We're staying home.
Maybe that's it. Or maybe you've just decided to, pay attention to your surroundings and behave in the rules of the road or what. At any rate, there are no accidents or even slowdowns that I'm seeing on UDOT cameras, and you haven't sent anything in either. But if that changes, please let us know what you're seeing on the roads, and I'll pass it along. 33986. Cinderella is a megawatt production. Experience this classic fairy tale with all new sets and costumes. Opening February 7th with music performed live by the Ballet West Orchestra. Tickets at balletwest.org.
Boner candidate number 3, the Utah Father of the Year. Weber County. Man is facing several charges after police say that he knowingly gave his 8-year-old son marijuana gummies. Craig Richard Goodliff is facing charges for endangerment of a child, purchase of a firearm by a restricted person, intoxication. Apparently, officers were called by Goodliff's mother, who said that her son was sick and incoherent with his son. Officers responded and said that Mr. Goodliff was acting manic and speaking of completing magic rituals. Goodliff admitted to officers he'd taken a large amount of marijuana, Viagra, and caffeine. He said, "Oh, yeah, and I gave some marijuana to my kid." Officers said when they were let into Goodliff's home, they saw urine and feces on the floor near several large boxes of marijuana products. Goodliff told police that he did the defecation on the floor while watching porn while his son was sleeping.
Jeez.
They searched his home. They found drugs and guns. And then he said, "Oh, yeah, and I gave my kid a marijuana gummy." Officers found over 9 pounds of various marijuana products in the kitchen.
All right.
Boner candidate number 3, the Utah Father of the Year.
Let's review the first 2 and vote.
Boner candidate number 1, he's just an example of the sort of person who's, ascendant in this country. This is the millionaire guy down in L.A., the real estate developer who pleaded for private firefighters to come and save his home. Said, "All my neighbors' homes are burning. Come and save my home." And he doesn't think he should pay any taxes. It just goes on and on.
Yeah.
Boner candidate number 2, the chickens have come home to the rented roost. Self-explanatory. Guy rents out an apartment, and apparently somebody was using it for a chicken coop. And number 3, Utah Father of the Year.
All right, time to vote for Boner of the Day. 1, 2, or 3. Remember your candidate number. The one that you think should win. Put that single digit, 1, 2, or 3, in the message of a text. Text that to 33986. Easy. Or you can call Katie in the producer's booth. She'll take your live voice vote at 877-602-9696. Or go online, x96.com. Look for the box that says Boner of the Day, January 10, 2025. Click and vote. All right, you got 300 seconds to get your vote in, and then for 2 segments, have another drink with Jimmy. You like churros?
Oh, I do.
Okay, that's all I'm saying. Coming up with Jimmy. Stand by.
Morning, and anticipation is high. The house lights will soon be dimmed, and the stage lights will illuminate the game show stage as we begin to play Beat Gina. I'm professional announcer Johnny Ola.
Yes.
You know, more doctors smoke Camels than any other cigarette, and that's not a guess, not just a trend, but an actual fact based on the statements of doctors themselves to 3 nationally known independent research organizations. Every doctor in private practice from Maine to California, family physicians, surgeons, specialists, doctors in every field was asked, "What cigarette do you smoke?" You see, doctors smoke for pleasure, just like the rest of us. They appreciate, just as you, a mildness that's cool and easy on the throat.
Yes.
And they named Camels, more of them named Camels, as a matter of fact, than any other brand. Next time you buy cigarettes, buy Camels. And when doctors from coast to coast were asked, "Who's your favorite game show host?" The answer was overwhelming. Almost every single one of them named the host that's cool and easy on the eyes, Carrie Jackson.
Oh, thank you, Johnny.
You're welcome.
Johnny Ola, professional game show announcer. All right? Oh,
The throat's a little raw.
All right. Well, the randomizer has picked a contestant. Valerie is here. Hello, Valerie.
Hello.
All right, Valerie, we're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game if you win the toss. Heads or tails? Tell me.
Heads.
Coin toss app says heads, Gina.
Speaking of heads, you are one step closer to winning those tickets to see Dirty Heads. They're coming to Island Glow this upcoming June 17th.
All right, there you go. We'll let you have the first question then, Valerie. If you answer it correctly, you get the point. If not, I will allow Gina to answer that question correctly, and she will steal the point away from you, probably, because it's AC/DC trivia. And if you win, Valerie, you get those tickets. If not, what are you prepared to do in Gina's name?
I'll donate $50 to the Humane Society.
That would be great.
Look at that. Okay. All right. First question is for Valerie. It's Angus Young's birthday today, so AC/DC trivia is the subject. Here we go. First question for Valerie. AC/DC won an award for selling 10 million copies of which album? Is it 1, Rivers of Brown? Is it 2, Highway to Hell? 3, Back in Black? Or 4, The Government Totally Sucks?
Was it Back in Black?
Back in Black is correct.
There's a point for you, Valerie. Good job. Now, Gina.
Gina.
Yes.
Let's see here. Oh, here we go. Which AC/DC album was the last to feature the late Bon Scott? Was it 1, Flutes and Trombones? 2, High Voltage? 3, Highway to Hell? Or 4, Simply Jazz?
Highway to Hell.
Highway to Hell is correct.
It's 1-1.
All right.
Valerie's turn.
Valerie. Which AC/DC song tells of the woman who's working double time on the seduction line? Is it 1, Beazle Boss? 2, You Shook Me All Night Long? 3, Dirty Deeds Done Dirt Cheap? Or 4, Women Time?
Is it Dirty Deeds?
No.
Oh,
Valerie.
Gina.
Oh.
Chance to steal.
You shook me all night long.
I purposely gave Valerie the easy
I know
one.
you did.
All right.
Yeah, that was mean.
That was
mean. I trying to help you. All right.
It's 2-1 in favor of Gina, and Gina controls the question, so she could win with this answer.
All right.
Put your shoes on, Valerie.
Yeah, I would say. Here we go.
Get out your checkbook.
Here we go. 42, 39, 56. Were whose measurements? Were whose measurements according to the 1977 AC/DC tune? Was it 1, Mrs. Satan? 2, Rosie? 3, Josie? Or 4, Gwyneth?
That is a whole lot of Rosie.
Oh, that was...
And Gina wins the game.
We kind of predicted that would happen. Yeah.
Oh, Valerie. You seem like a nice person, Valerie.
Does she?
It's not really fair, really.
No,
I mean,
this was not a fair contest.
No.
I feel bad about this. Even though I beat you, I'm going to go ahead and give you those tickets anyway to see Dirty Heads on June 17th.
There you go, Valerie.
Nice, huh?
Hang on the line, and somebody will tell you how to collect your tickets.
Yeah,
You're welcome.
hang on.
Listen, you know how they say smoke them if you got them?
Yes.
Well, I got them, and I'm going to... That reminds you of anything, Jimmy?
Yeah, family dinner. Oh, my
All
gosh.
right.
All right, 7:50, time to award your bonus.
Oh, this is interesting. Now, I did not expect any votes to go anywhere else but Boner candidate number 3, the Utah Father of the Year.
Well, is it brought to you by?
Oh, yeah, thank you. I'm really kind of off my game this morning.
Have a drink.
Brought to you in part by Tuna Caper Pasta.
And coming soon, don't miss the return of Lights, Camera, Brunch, our annual film-themed Not Safe for Work podcast with brunch, beers, and more, Sunday, January 26th at Squatters Pub. Space is limited. Buy your tickets at x96.com.
I think I was just surprised by how the voting went. I expected, as I was saying, Boner candidate number 3 to just mop the floor with I didn't expect a single vote for any of the other candidates. But Boner candidate number 1, he's just another example of people, kind of the people that are sort of running our country right now, the people that the incoming administration caters to. That got 86 votes. He got 86 votes. That's the guy who wanted private firefighters at his home. But indeed, Boner candidate number 3, the Utah Father of the Year, got 156 votes and wins Boner of the Day.
All right, there you go. That's your Boner of the Day for today. Hey, I know it's here somewhere. There we go.
There it is.
I don't know where these buttons. That's your Boner of the Day for today, January 10, 2025. Now qualified to be Boner of the Week. That'll happen at 9:50 this morning when Dave the Flower Guy comes in and just tells us who Boner of the Week is. Have another drink with Jimmy, brought to you by
our friends at Clearwater Distilling.
Sure.
Okay.
All right.
There it is. My favorite sound. I love that sound.
Here he is, the Chancellor of the Exchequer of the Wine Academy of Utah, the one, the only, His Honor, James Santangelo.
And that's one word, His Honor, H-I-Z-Z.
O-N-R. H-I-Z-Z-O-N-E-R. His Honor, Jimmy Santangelo. He is here. Have another drink with Jimmy. Good morning, Mr. Santangelo.
Good morning.
You've just handed me a libation of some sort.
I certainly did. And good morning. Happy 2025. This is our first episode come back into the new year. Yeah, we're featuring Clearwater Distilling. Super excited about this. This is their churro shot. So it's a combination of the Canela, their cinnamon whiskey, no sugar, all natural. The cinnamon sticks are just soaked in their already blended whiskey for us. And then their Lorenz, this is their rum. So it's a 1-to-1 ratio. And then I hit it with horchata.
There you go.
So you get that cinnamon additional, but a little cream, a little good weightiness to it.
Oh, okay. I was going to say this is actual horchata. This isn't the
actual horchata.
So I did kind.
You may have heard a shake a shake. I did equal parts across the board with this, and shook it and nice chilled and hey, happy Friday.
It does in fact taste it is reminiscent of a churro.
Yeah, it's delicious.
Yeah.
My love of churros is well documented. So.
You can even call it cinnamon toast.
Oh, good. Yeah.
Cinnamon and sugar toast.
Perhaps if you sat down with this drink and a plate of churros, you would go to heaven.
Maybe.
You could be translated into heaven.
Clearwater's our friends down there in Utah County, right? And they're the only Utah County distillery. And open on Sundays. They have a package store for all their goods, as well as mixers and bitters and great cocktail accessories, things like that. So if
they do events there too, don't they?
Yeah, they do. They do different types of events with the Wine Academy. Myself, we do an event monthly there where we pair cigars because they have a humidor there, a tobacco license. We pair cigars with one of the spirits. This not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. I believe it's the 19th. I have to look at my calendar. But whatever that Sunday is, the third Sunday of the month, we have an event there that we're featuring the Lorenz, the rum, which is one of the components of the cocktail we have here now.
Now, there's questions in the chat room. Where am I going to get me some horchata?
Yeah.
You've got it canned here.
Yeah, we got a can here. So, the markets will have this. The markets will have this horchata. You can also use rum chata. That's
rum
what
I thought you were bringing.
Spirit. Yeah, that's the liquor.
Yeah. Sure.
That's a good band name, by the way.
Rum Spirit?
Rum Chata.
Rum Chata. You get sued. But you could also just throw some together: rice, milk, cinnamon, sugar. You
Yeah.
could just throw that a down and dirty kind of version.
No,
But-
for sure.
But
for
just
sure.
about any Mexican place that you have nearby probably has horchata.
No, absolutely. The Aztec market, things of that nature,
Yeah.
are going to have some really high quality horchatas.
It's one of
This
my
is
favorite. I
salad.
love it.
This is what I like about this cocktail, the churro shot. Although we're drinking it neat, slowly. Until we're off.
Oh, mine's gone. What do you mean? Oh, I was supposed to do it slowly?
Bill's dyslexia is
the word-
cured, by the way, now.
How about that?
Well, the word shot is in the name of the drink,
Yeah,
right?
that's true.
So, but I like the lightness of it. I was thinking it might be a little creamier, a little heavier. Sometimes horchata can be that way, but this was. I really like this. This is nice and thin, and very flavorful. All the components of the spirits certainly come through. The Canela and the Lorenz.
And it's very refreshing in a way.
So this is what are the boozes again? They're all from Clearwater.
Yes, they're Canela cinnamon whiskey, and then the Lorenz. It's a rum, a style of rum. And what I like about the Lorenz is how they make it. Yeah.
Now, is this a Spanish, French, or English rum?
Ooh, good question. It's more in an American style. Let me tell you why. Because what we're doing is we're integrating a lot of the characteristics of the flavors in a basket press, similar to how you would make gin. So they're adding, and it really rounds this out. This is triple distilled, this rum. So it's a very more of a modern take of a style.
Now, by
Unaged.
triple distilling, does that mean really? So they distill it, and it comes out, let's say, a gallon, and then you distill that gallon again.
Yes.
And then you distill that.
So it's
again.
getting lighter, thinner. Your volumes
I was gonna
becoming
say the
less.
volume is
less volume.
Yep, and it what you're having is a more delicate, finer spirit. We
Takes
see
out impurities and
takes out impurities, and when you triple distill, you see that a lot with Irish whiskeys and things of that nature.
There you go.
That's why it's so
87.
light.
You see, he knows his stuff. 877-602-9696. Call now. Get in line. Ask Jimmy anything. Have another drink with Jimmy continues in our next break. 877-602-9696.
Infinity members have sent in a couple of messages. A small traffic jam on Main Street in front of Mill Creek Coffee. That's just Mill Creek. They're just headed to
they're-
Mill Creek Coffee.
Exactly.
Also, traffic update. No accidents to report, but people are driving like asshats. So don't let your ass hattery get you into an accident.
an
please.
ass with a hat on it.
Yeah, but really, we have had a very good commute, and it seems to continue. Let's keep it that way. If you do see some ass hats or coffee or anything on the road, you can text us 33986.
All right, we will take a break. We'll have more with Jimmy after these questions. Questions about any liquor, any beer, any wine.
Hospitality?
Restaurants, hospitality,
Yes.
where you put your how you set the table right with what you know all of that. Don't you?
Pairings,
He
all of that
He really
stuff.
knows like how to set a table, all
yeah.
of that stuff.
877-602-9696. Line up now. KXRK Provo. Did you?
Well, we know not what it means, but it is time for another episode of Beat Gina. I'm your announcer, Johnny O, and this is a message for weak and nervous men.
Okay.
For a long time, we have hesitated to advertise ambition pills. We were afraid that this remedy might be classed with the many fraudulent preparations on the market.
Yes.
A single trial will convince any sufferer that we have a positive cure for impotency, sleeplessness, enlarged veins, and nervous debility, which includes troublesome dreams, evil forebodings, losses, despondency, and aversion to society caused by overwork or other excesses. Especially recommended in cases of long-standing and where other remedies have failed. For a short time only, the price will be $1 per box or 6 boxes with guarantee for $5. Price for ambition pills will be soon doubled. Send money to H.W. Mordhurst, Halsid Drug Company, 74 Calhoun Street, Fort Wayne, Indiana, for your box of ambition pills. And now, here's a man who has no need of ambition pills.
Oh.
He's not timid. He's not weak. He's Kerry Jackson.
You have the foreboding, though. That's
Well, take one pill.
I'll take one. All right, thank you. The randomizer has picked your contestant, Gina.
Okay.
You'll be playing against Rebecca today.
Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, how's it going?
Okay, Rebecca, let's toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you an advantage in the game. Heads or tails?
Heads.
All right, coin toss app says tails, Gina Barberi. Oh, Rebecca, sorry.
You're one step further away from winning these tickets to the Hot Wheels Monster Trucks Live at Maverick Center on the 16th and 17th of September.
All right, so there's a chance that Gina could win. Now, if she beats you, what are you prepared to do in her name, Rebecca?
I will DJ a 4-hour set for Provo Pride.
There you go.
Okay. Very nice.
Perfect. Thank you very much. All right. Haunted Mansion trivia.
Okay.
Because, well, the movie opens this weekend, and so this is based mostly on the rides. The questions are, so let's begin with Gina. Gina, first question for you. What is the name of the attraction ride vehicle that takes you on a tour of the mansion?
Okay.
Is it 1, Doom Buggies, 3, Ghost Coasters, 3, Meat Wagons, or 4, Deathmobiles?
I believe it's 1.
Doom Buggies is correct.
That's correct.
Rebecca.
Sorry, Rebecca, but it's your chance to tie the game.
Rebecca, in the ride, there is an area called Gracie's Study. In that area, there is a red couch. That couch has appeared in a Disney movie in the past. What movie was the red couch in Gracie's Study used in? Was it 1, Bed Knobs and Broomsticks? Was it 2, 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea? Was it 3, this is the stupidest vacation, you drag me from home, you jam me in this dumb car, then drive 1,000,000 miles away to see some stupid rat, call me when the trip's over? Or 4, Chloe and the Grizz?
I want to say Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
You want to say?
No.
Is that what you're saying?
Yes. Bed Knobs and Broomsticks.
You shouldn't have said that.
No, gave you a chance.
Oh.
That, Rebecca?
I would have said that too, Rebecca.
Oh, I know what it is.
Is it 20,000 Leagues?
20,000 Leagues Under the Sea.
Captain Nemo's couch.
Then they took it right from the movie set, put it in the ride.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, there
That's
you go.
2 points for Gina, Rebecca. No points for you. And Rebecca, I hate to tell you this, but Gina controls the question.
Gina controls the question. Let's find her. Let's get a hard one for Gina, shall we?
Sure.
All right. Who is considered the unofficial Lord of the Manor?
Okay.
This is one I did not know.
Okay.
Is it 1, Xavier Atencio? Xavier Atencio. 2, Manifestation. 3, Walt's Cancerous Lungs. Or 4, Poltergeist.
I guess I'm going 1 because that was the hardest
That
one.
was the hardest one. I think I kind of gave it away there. Didn't
There
I?
it is. I'm sorry, Rebecca.
I did it.
You got no.
okay.
Scooter meat.
Randy in Mill Creek says, I can tell you all about Clearwater Distillery.
the distillery that colors outside the lines, producing fearless, innovative spirits such as the Rene Reimagnac, Josephine Eau de Vie, Lorenz sugarcane-based spirits, Scandalous. Although it's not Scandalous anymore, right?
Yeah, the Canela. Yeah. They just changed it.
What is it? What they change it again?
Canela.
The only distillery in Utah County open on Sunday.
Well, that Randy in Mill Creek knows a lot about Clearwater
He
Distilling.
does.
A little bit too much, if you ask me.
I think there's something fishy going on here. Well, we're back with the benevolent despot himself, Jimmy Santangelo. He runs the Wine Academy of Utah, wineacademyofutah.com, for all your Wine Academy of Utah needs. And we've been sampling a churro shot, which is really tasty.
Yep.
Made with Clearwater stuff. We've got all kinds of questions, though, that people want to know about whiskey and wine and beer. And
Speaking of whiskey.
Yes.
This trip of yours is vexing me because
Scotland?
I want to go.
Well, then go.
I will be in another country in that time.
It's hard to beat Kerry Jackson.
I know, right?
But if somebody else wants to go, how do they do it?
It's our Scotland. It's Whiskey and Yoga, Scotland 2025. So we're going to help you downward dog for a dram. This is June 21st of this year. It's a 9-day trip. We added a day. This is with a partner of mine, Kim Dastrup. We are taking you through Edinburgh, all the way up through St. Andrews into the Highlands. That's where we really get our whiskey on, and then back down again to the West Coast over by Oban, things like that. And it's a fun trip because it's hiking, museums, historic. You really feel the people, the culture, the whiskey. There's retail therapy. So you'll be able to do some shopping.
when do you do yoga?
In the mornings. We activate in Edinburgh at St. Andrews Square.
Let it be known it's optional.
Yes, it is optional.
The
But it's
yoga
very
part is optional.
strongly recommended. When they were doing yoga, I would walk by, and there would be people actually, tourists, taking pictures of us, of the team doing the yoga, of the attendees. We all have shirts, so we're all coordinated. And I could overhear people walking by taking photos saying, I think they're doing this on purpose.
Yes. It's how you earn your whiskey. Look, I did this morning.
That's it.
Exactly.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's all-inclusive. All you got to do is get there. And more information on wineacademyofutah.com.
And here's the thing: is that so many people have come up to me after our little trip that we did here in downtown Salt Lake.
Yeah.
And said that was so much fun. And I say to them, now imagine doing it in Scotland.
Yeah.
Taken on a huge scale.
Yes.
And I've even called from there on the bus when we were outside of, that was in the north outside of Inverness. We were looking for Nessie, driving down Loch Ness.
Did
that
you
was
have enough
to my
scotch
right.
to find Nessie?
Oh, yeah, we found a few times.
877-602-9696 if you have any questions for Jimmy. You can also text your questions at 33986. We had a story here. Yeah, do we have a question? Or?
No, we don't.
We had a story earlier today. I was talking, or was it yesterday, about wine pie.
Yes, wine pie. We were curious about wine pie.
Do you know anything about this, Jimmy?
Fill me in. What do we
see.
got?
I've got to find it. There's apparently people are making wine pie where you pour wine into a pie crust, and you put various things in it to thicken it up, and then you bake it. Okay. And so you make a wine pie.
Not familiar with this.
No.
That's okay. You kind of think it sounds terrible, don't you?
I'm willing to try anything once.
Lang in the chat room says, why waste the wine?
Why waste the wine?
Here it is. It says you take you take your wine, you put it in a pie crust. You put in sugar, you put in cornstarch, you put in flour. I guess you do all of that.
Thickeners.
Yeah, you thicken it all up. Then you pour it into the pie crust.
Yep.
Bake it for 30 to 40 minutes.
Yeah, I can see how that fruitiness could come out. It's going to vapor off the alcohol, and mostly you'd think. And that sounds like you'd want to use a big, rich, red or something like that. Sounds Sounds intriguing.
What about other desserts that use alcohol?
Yeah, so you can use alcohol to deglaze a pan, which is a lot of fun. That's either for a savory item where you've got the meat bits or something like that at the bottom of a roast or bottom of a fry pan. You can add a port, you can add a sherry, things of that nature. I love deglazing a pan with sauteing onions with some sherry.
Oh, yeah.
And that just, that caramelization really comes through, brings them together. I'll share with you what my grandmother, my nana taught me. She was a big cook, and my nana said, there's one easy way when you cook with wine for the recipe. One, you'll never forget it, and it was one shot for the dish and 2 shots for the chef.
Now, there's a recipe. You have to follow that.
You
It's
got to
very
follow
strict.
it.
There's someone asking about another event of yours. Any information on the cigar and cocktails for the January event at Clearwater? What cigar did he and Dan pick, and why the cocktail?
Aha, great question. I do have that information. The cigars that we're selecting are from their humidor. They usually get a nice special selection for us, and we're using the Lorenz rum that we just had here. And what's fun about these events is they're partially outside. We got the heaters going, and it's the Ozinger family Frisat F52. And that's got a nice floral note, cedar nuttiness to it, and we're using the Lorenz spirit. So I'll likely do the churro shot to finish. But with Lorenz, it's such a floral, beautiful, delicate, flavorful rum. There's no aging to it, so you don't get that caramelization, but more of those lighter notes. And I want to make sure that spirit comes really through. And when you smoke a cigar, it's the first third is going to be the lightest. So I like to pair the cocktail and then we get more robust. Then we get
that's
more
interesting.
robust.
It changes.
As you smoke the cigar, it all becomes more concentrated and.
Yep. Yeah, the middle third. So I compare it to like a coffee. Your first coffee is like a coffee and cream, or a latte, and then the middle is the cappuccino, a little bit richer, and then you're down to the last little bit, and that's your espresso. So,
and then I usually eat the butt.
This is the stuff you're going to learn taking classes from Jimmy. WineAcademyofUtah.com. The cigars and whiskey.
Yes.
A lot of people are trying to do dry January, no booze.
Yeah.
Now, do you have any non-alcoholic cocktails you recommend?
Absolutely.
What's a shrub? Is that a non-alcoholic thing?
A shrub's a concentrate. Think of a tincture or a simple syrup, but you're concentrating it down. There's vinegars involved and things like that. But dry January, yes. Wine side. Zilch sparkling wine, and not to be all brand naming, but there's sparkling wines that are out there are very good.
No alcohol.
The Giesen, Giesen, and our Rocky Mountain Mixers, previous sponsor, they have all these lined up. Also, our friend up the street here, she has them all lined up as well. Ivy Boustique. And the Giesen Sauv Blanc, I did in a blind tasting. I could tell which one it was, but I was really impressed with the aromatic and flavor characteristics of this non-alcoholic Sauvignon Blanc. Wines have come a real long way. We used to mimic with a Concord grape and add sweeteners or add acids to try to mimic wine. Now we're like, well, why don't we just make the wine and then take the alcohol out? Let's see how that goes. So we're actually using the grapes. On the beer side, Athletic Brewing is pretty darn good. And the spirits, we need a few more generations till I think we really nail it. But the pre-canned, the ready-to-drink canned non-alcoholic cocktails, there's a phony Negroni out there that you will not be able. I bet you wouldn't know there's not booze in it. It's delicious.
Back in the day, all we had was near beer.
There's a challenge, a side-by-side alcoholic and non-alcoholic Negroni.
Well, if you want to do that, we have next Thursday at Tracy Aviary. Tracy Aviary, get your tickets today. We're doing sponsored with Beehive Cheese, small bites. We've got wine side by side, and it'll be blind. So this is the challenge for you, to Carrie's point. Thank you.
WineAcademyofUtah.com. Jimmy Santangelo. Have another drink with Jimmy. Thank you, Jimmy.
You're welcome. Have a great weekend. Thanks, everybody.
Traffic, Gina.
Wow. Why can't we do this every day?
I know, right?
It's possible.
Oh, I thought you meant with Jimmy.
Oh, no, I mean with Jimmy, too. But it's
Yeah.
possible to have a commute with no accidents. It can happen.
I do this with Jimmy every day. I call him every day.
It's happening now. No accidents to tell you about. Let's keep it that way, folks. If you see something that changes, though, or you want to text us about booze, you can do that, too. 33986. The Stateroom presents bringing 1960s-inspired R&B soul group The Sacred Souls to the Union on Saturday, January 11th. Tickets are available at thestateroompresents.com.
I'd like to see that. All right, 8:15. Beat Gina coming up after these messages and a song. The song falls into our If You Know, You Know category.
Okay.
All right, so stand by for that. But what is the prize for Beat Gina today?
We got tickets to see comedian Sebastian Maniscalco coming January 17th to the Maverick Center.
Sebastian Maniscalco tickets at 877-602-9696. All you got to do is call and play Beat Gina. It's Wizard of Oz trivia today. Wizard of Oz trivia coming up. So Beat Gina at 877-602-9696 for the Sebastian Maniscalco tickets after these messages.
Because the baby goat was egregious, and it was a cute goat.
It pulls at the heartstrings, but number one he's a monster.
Goats are adorable. I like watching videos of the little baby goats in pajamas jumping around.
Yeah.
But don't look at their eyes too closely.
They go crosswise.
They got creepy eyes.
That's why people think they're satanic.
Yes.
I was walking through my neighborhood once. Oh, this has been several years ago now, and for some reason, somebody had two baby goats in their front yard, and we stopped and kind of played with them. And what they liked to do the most was butt you.
Oh yeah,
they with their heads. They were all into that. And I mean, these were just little, by the size of a dog.
Oh yeah,
little baby goats. They were cute as hell. But would you knock it off? Jeez.
Oh, they don't stop at all.
Uh-uh.
Me and my wife were visiting her parents in Vernal recently, and they had some friends who recently had baby goats, which are just kids, right?
Well,
And
that's what they call them.
Yeah,
yes.
they were doing the same thing. They were I mean, they didn't go above my knee, but they just kept running into my shin. They were nipping on every little edge of my clothes, and they're adorable as hell, though.
Now, I've never been around fainting goats, but a salesperson who used to work with us, Pam, had fainting goats.
She had some.
And she lives up in the Park City area, and I never got to see them. But, they actually, if you make a noise or come at them, they faint.
Or say a swear.
Maybe if you use...
Oh, that's different. That's a pearl-clutching goat. That's a different one.
yeah.
That's mostly the legislature.
The outrage goat.
Yes.
Yeah. But I think that's just so interesting that and I guess it's a response of they like playing dead. Well, you won't do anything to me if I play dead.
Oh, so they're not actually fainting.
They are kind of.
They're feigning the fainting.
Well, no. They actually do kind of black out.
Go to YouTube and look up fainting goats, and you'll see what we're talking about.
It's very odd.
I'll spend the rest of the show doing this.
And I don't think they get very big, do they? Aren't they?
I don't think so. I think they're small. Yeah. They're a smaller breed of goat.
But goats, they do have creepy eyes.
Yeah,
very creepy.
It's the eyes.
And they can be pretty nasty too. Pretty mean.
Oh, they can be mean. Yeah.
Looking at a best of fainting goats compilation.
Oh, it's wonderful, isn't it?
Mashup.
Yeah.
Somebody in the chat room just put a GIF of one in there now. There's a big goat scaring a small herd of the little goats.
Oh.
And the little goats, most of them just drop.
Oh, I
so
see.
funny.
I see. It's the little brother tactic where you lay down on the ground and you're like, you won't hit me if I'm here.
Boom. They do. They just drop. Boom. It's quite amusing. using.
Evil eyes, though.
And I think Tam said it's really not nice to.
No.
You can make them do it, but you shouldn't.
Julie says their muscles seize up.
Mm.
So I guess they get so scared they just go.
That one looks pretty stiff when he falls down.
Their legs are stiff and their back is arched, like they can't move, obviously. But
pearl clutching goats are part of Nanny Nation.
Ah, there
Nanny
you go.
Goats.
I got it.
See.
That's pretty good.
Thank you, Texter.
That's good.
It's often said that people of Utah speak a language all their own. It's a language that's often confusing and even incomprehensible to newcomers here in the Beehive State. So, Radio from Hell presents a handy guide to help everyone understand how the natives speak. It's the Utah word of the day, and today's word is...
Well, it's lots of words today. As the following scene plays out, you're going to hear lots of ways of Utah speaking, too many to mention here. Without further ado, I give you the mayor of Mona, Utah, Don Criddle.
Hello. I'm the mayor of Mona, Utah, Don Criddle. I'm here with Mona Community Notes.
Daddy, I've been working on my Mona Civil War reenactment. Can I read this?
Denver, this is important city business.
But please, Daddy.
Oh, all right, then. Let's hear it.
My dearest Daddy, I write to you without hope that I may see the morrow. The battle to free Mona from our brutal overlords, the Nephi City Council. The shelling is constant and endless. The Nephites have taken the high ground atop the Texaco outhouses, and their cannon ring out with constant destruction. As we moved on from victory at the Battle of the Chevron Station, our hopes were high as the Nephites appeared to lack sufficient supplies for a long battle. Alas, with a resupply to the Burger King from the Nephites, such hopes were quickly dashed. The enemy continues to dig in a position at the Flying J. The trucker showers running constantly. The enemy soldiers fight clean and refreshed. We have had naught to eat for days but Frito pie with Wolf brand chili from the Chevron. Our supply of stale bread and old deli meat from the subway dumpster running out 2 days ago. Our only hope is for reinforcements from Salem in the next days, or we shall be overrun and lose our position. Daddy, my love for you and for my beloved town of Mona, Utah, knows no bounds. Should I survive this ordeal, I cannot wait to share the joy of a rope swing and a swim at the Burston Ponds. Though our position is in peril, I and my company of Monanites will give you all and give you our all to the cause. Excuse me, I gotta erase that. Mona City will be free. Please pray for us, Daddy. Your beloved son, Denver Criddle. Well, if you know, you know.
I couldn't remember the name of the band. I remember listening to this song going, every time it came on.
The song is called The Bad Touch. Yeah. All right. Beat Gina now, brought to you by
X96 welcomes Sebastian Maniscalco coming January 17th to the Maverick Center. Tickets are on sale now. You can get all the information at x96.com.
Well, it is time for Beat Gina, but before we begin our program, I'm Johnny Ola with this word.
Okay.
Even if you brushed in a rush, Brisk fluoride toothpaste starts instant action against tooth decay. Brisk, B-R-I-S-K, Brisk. When you're late and in a rush, do you clean your teeth or do you really rush? Or do you just brush in a rush? Brisk helps protect you from decay. Starts instant action right away. Even if you brush in a rush, Brisk fluoride toothpaste. Brisk helps strengthen tooth enamel on contact. Instantly destroys bacteria that causes mouth odor and decay. So even if you brush in a rush, use Brisk fluoride toothpaste.
Thank you.
And now, here's a man who is about to briskly host this Beat Gina game show. Your host, Kerry Jackson.
Thank you, Johnny Ola.
You're
And
welcome.
he helps with tooth decay, too.
Well, yes.
Well, how about that? Professional game show announcer Johnny Ola, everybody. All right, the randomizer has picked a contestant. Gina, you'll be playing against Mike today. Mike, are you there?
Mike?
Yes, I'm here.
Hi.
All right, Mike, here we
Hey.
go.
Woo!
We're going to toss a
Oh, my
coin.
gosh.
We're going to toss a coin to see who goes first. It will give you the advantage in the game if you call it correctly. You tell me heads or tails.
All right, I choose tails.
Tails.
Oh, he went back and forth.
And it is tails.
Oh, you knew.
Well, there you go.
There you go.
Mike, we don't like our contestants to be overly excited.
Okay, I'm trying
Mike,
to calm down.
Mike, you won the toss, which means you go first. This first question is for you to answer on your own exclusively with no interference. It's multiple choice, pop culture trivia. If you get it correct, you get the point. But if not, I'll allow Gina to answer the question correctly, and she will. Yeah, she will steal your point away, more than likely. And we'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. All right, it's Wizard of Oz trivia because on this day it was released or something. I don't have
Something like that.
There's a reason.
There's a reason for it. Because reasons. All right. First question is for Mike. Mike.
Yes.
The Flying Monkeys in The Wizard of Oz. Did you know they had names?
Individual names?
They have names.
Individual names?
Yes.
I did not know that.
What is the name of the leader of the winged monkeys, the head winged monkey? Is it 1, Elon? Is it 2, Nico? Is it 3, Vivek? Or 4, Hannity?
Oh, my gosh. Number 1.
Elon? Well, no. Actually, no.
Oh,
No.
That would have been nice, but no.
It must be Nico.
Nico is correct.
Yes, there's a point for you.
And I have a foreman named Nico.
He has a foreman named.
Well, you should have went with your instinct.
Try to remain calm, Mike.
All right.
Okay.
That's one. That's 1 point for Gina, and Gina controls the question.
Gina.
Yes.
The gray circle and zigzag pattern interrupting the yellow brick road outside the main entrance of Emerald City
Okay.
does what? It's a pattern
Okay.
on the road outside of Emerald City.
Okay.
It does what? Is it 1, spells out Oz?
Okay.
2, is a giant compass like on a map, north, south, east, and west?
Okay.
Is it 3, spells out the word coma? Or 4, contains the lyrics to The Great Gig in the Sky from Dark Side of the Moon?
I think it's Oz.
Spells out Oz, yes.
Well, it's 2-0. It's your turn, Mike. Try to get in the game now.
Mike?
Okay. Sorry.
It's all right. Mike, the Scarecrow face makeup that Ray Bolger wore consisted in part of a rubber prosthetic with a woven pattern to suggest burlap cloth. By the time the film was finished, what had the prosthetic done to his face? After many days and days of wearing the prosthetic, what did it do to his face? Was it 1, caused a rash that never went away? Was it 2, permanently stained his skin so that he was typecast in scarecrow roles for the rest of his career, although he did excellent work in the movies Citizen Crow, Butch Cassidy and the Scarecrow Kid, Bob and Carol and Scarecrow and Alice.
Yes, that was a good one.
And Reservoir Scarecrows. They were all good. Was it 3, caused him to be mistaken for Walt Disney? Or was it 4, left a pattern of lines on his face that took more than a year to vanish?
4, left a pattern of lines on his face.
That is correct.
Yes. That's a point for
thank
you,
you.
Mike. You're still in it, but Gina controls the question, and she has 2 points. So,
All right, Gina.
Yes.
Here we go. What was the only location footage in the entire film? The entire film is shot on a soundstage except for one part. The only location footage. Is it 1, the roads leading to the farmhouse in Kansas? Is it 2, the clouds over the opening titles? Was it 3, Robert Mitchum's poppy field? Or 4, Bela Lugosi's haunted forest?
I'm going with the roads leading to the farmhouse.
no.
No. Terribly
All
sorry.
right, Mike, you can tie it up.
Number 2.
Clouds over the opening title.
2-2. Now, Mike,
Oh, yeah. Thank
you are in the catbird seat.
All
You
right.
control the
Oh,
question.
no.
Mike, Ray Bolger was originally cast as what character? We talked about Ray earlier, remember?
Mm-hmm.
Ray was originally cast as what character? Was it 1, the Scarecrow? Is it 2, Aragorn? Is it 3, the Tin Man? Or 4, Eugene the Magical Jeep?
Oh, my gosh. Number 3. No, yeah, number 3, the Tin Man.
Tin Man is correct.
And you win the game, Mike.
Wow, Mike.
You made a wonderful comeback there.
Excellent, excellent.
I think it was your excitement and enthusiasm that made you win the game. Nicely done.
It's a beautiful morning.
It is a beautiful morning, and you have won tickets to see Sebastian Maniscalco coming January 17th to the Maverick Center.
All right, hang on the line. We'll tell you how to get those tickets.
I've got to go. Lions and tigers and bears. Oh, my.
Big Boy News now, brought to you by
Clark Planetarium proudly presents Living Worlds starting January 17th in the Hanson Dome Theater. Explore Earth's co-evolution with life, journey through space and time, and discover how we can find living worlds beyond. Don't miss this stunning film.
Donald J. Trump, convicted felon, who appeared virtually at his sentencing this morning, was convicted of falsifying business records to cover up a sex scandal that threatened to derail his 2016 presidential campaign.
That all happened.
After months of delay, Trump on Friday became the first American president to be criminally sentenced. He avoided jail or any other substantive punishment, but the proceeding carried symbolic importance. It formalized Trump's status as a felon, a criminal, making him the first to carry that dubious designation into the presidency.
This was not the DOJ that did this.
No.
This was not Biden that did this.
Never
was...
before has the court been presented with such a unique and remarkable set of circumstances, said the judge, Juan Merchan. This has been truly an extraordinary case. The judge imposed a so-called unconditional discharge of Mr. Trump's sentence, a rare and lenient alternative to jail or probation. Explaining the leniency, Judge Merchan acknowledged Trump's inauguration 10 days hence. Donald Trump, the ordinary citizen, Donald Trump, the criminal defendant, would not be entitled to the protections of the presidency, Merchan asserted, explaining that only the office shields him from the verdict's gravity. The judge then wished Trump Godspeed, I don't know why, and departed the bench. Trump appeared virtually, his scowl projected onto a screen in a chilly yet bright lower Manhattan courtroom filled with reporters. This has been a terrible experience. The fact is, I'm totally innocent, he said. Well, that's not what the jury said. Asserting the primacy of the election over the verdict, he said that the voters got to see this firsthand. Now, what this also means is that his attorneys will appeal.
Of course.
They will appeal the case, and this will go on
But
and on.
at this moment, he is a convicted felon. And as president, how's he going to be able to travel to other countries? Some countries will not allow convicted felons into their borders.
I guess they will waive it for him.
Yeah, they will.
Probably.
Now, one other thing that we haven't mentioned this morning, and I haven't seen it playing out here. They're still to be released, and is it today? The Jack
Smith?
Jack
Smith report.
And Rudy today.
So what's going to be released? There's a redacted report this is for the document case with the Congress is going to get a more thorough report that is not released.
Not redacted.
We will see some of it, not all of it.
This is about the taking of the classified documents to Mar-a-Lago and storing them in the bathroom.
Yeah, and then the Rudy,
which is where he wanted to read them.
The Rudy stuff happens today as well.
Yeah. And I saw it this morning too, and I neglected to save the story. Apparently, the Mike Lindell of My Pillow. Oh, he's got like a $7 million judgment against him that he's got to pay.
My pillow speaks to me.
That's terrible. Oh, let's see. Residents of Logan, Utah, encouraged their leaders to be bold, and they succeeded, defying the expectations of more than 50 residents packed into their regular meeting. The Logan City Council voted against a contract that would have locked the city into purchasing fossil fuels for the next 30 years. The nearly $300 million deal would have helped pay for the construction of a natural gas plant in Power County, Idaho. Yeah, Power County, Idaho, aimed at providing much-needed baseload power for the region. But the project sparked strong opposition from residents who opposed the city's continued reliance on fossil fuels. Logan was the last of 34 cities presented with this contract by the Utah Associated Municipal Power Systems to make a decision, the only one to say no. Logan said, no, we won't sign it. Other cities that signed include Bountiful, Lehigh, St. George, Brigham City, Payson, Murray. They heard the people, said Patrick Belmont, the vice chair of Logan's Renewable Energy and Sustainability Advisory Board, who's been vocal about his disapproval of the project. And I think several of them, council members, went against the decision that they walked in that room with because they were listening to the people. That makes all the difference. So congratulations to the Logan City Council for stepping up.
Yeah.
The fate of TikTok, of course, rests in the hands of the U.S. Supreme Court. Critical deadline approaches. Congress had passed a bipartisan bill into law in April of last year that banned TikTok from operating in the U.S., citing national security. The legislation required TikTok to either divest itself from ByteDance, its owner, and sell the platform to a U.S. company, or shut down on January 19th. TikTok has since sued over the move, citing First Amendment protections. But with that January 19th deadline quickly approaching, it's now up to the Supreme Court to decide whether creators will have to find a new platform to share content. We just have an opposition to foreign control of communications, said Meg Reese, CEO of Solid Intel Inc. And with TikTok, that also has a lot of implications for permanent outside control of U.S. data. TikTok, there are a lot of TikTok people, particularly people who make money on TikTok, who are very worried about this whole situation. And finally, this story. Rideable luggage. That's one of the things that you are seeing at the Consumer Electronics Show in Las Vegas. This is where you go see the latest in innovations of electronics and technology and luggage that you can ride on in the airport. I think they've had some of this before.
Well, they've had like for kids.
And airports have said, well, we don't want you using it. I think that's going to be the problem. And they also have a solar-powered car, which looks really cool. I don't know how
what are you going to do when it's cloudy?
Yeah.
How are you going to drive to work when it's cloudy?
Battery.
Maybe it'll store.
They have batteries.
Batteries.
It'll store up some energy in a battery.
Yeah, batteries.
All right, that's it.
Sports weather traffic.
So great game last night against Notre Dame and Bills Penn State Nittany Lions.
Yeah.
He's claiming he doesn't care that they lost.
I don't.
27-24. Now they will patiently wait to see who they're going to play in the championship game, which will be Monday, January 20th. They will find out tonight because the Ohio State Buckeyes are playing the Texas Longhorns. That game at 5:30 today. Nobody's surprised that the Jazz lost again to the Miami Heat last night. 90. I know.
Did?
You're shocked.
I'm shocked.
97-92. They will lose tomorrow at 3 o'clock against the Suns. Utah Hockey Club home tonight to the San Jose Sharks. That puck drops at 7 o'clock, Bill. Weather. It's 27 right now, going to get up to 38 for a high. Could see some clouds start building in later today. That's because a storm's coming in. About an 80% chance of snow overnight tonight into tomorrow. 60% chance tomorrow. High of 35. And that chance kind of lingers throughout the weekend. And good golly, Miss Molly, the traffic has been just great today. I just refreshed. No slowdowns or accidents. That means we can do this every day, folks. Let's try. If you see something that changes, though, you can text us at 33986. Haster Games for board games. Magic the Gathering, Pokemon, miniatures, dice, paints, and more. Haster Games, 6831 South State or hastergames.com.
It's a new year, which means a new Deadpool.
Oh, yeah.
For the four of us. Stand by. We got our lists of not dead celebrities. Celebrities we predict will die this year.
Potentially dead celebrities.
It's a game, and you can play along with us. Stand by.
So when Bill Frost comes in and recommends TV shows, I try to check some of them out, and I thought I would watch The Big Brunch, hosted by Dan Levy. It's it's a cooking competition where it's horrible.
Really?
What's wrong with it?
It's just awful. The people on it are awful. The way it's set up is awful. He's just not a really great host. Now I just watched one, and maybe it settles in and gets a little better.
Okay.
But
I think you just hate brunch. That's what I think. You are a brunchist.
A brunchist.
You know, you really shouldn't say things like that without having seen it.
When was the last time you went to brunch?
I don't brunch very often.
This is my point.
But Dan Levy seems to believe
Levy,
that brunch
like
is it Levy?
It's
It's
Eugene
Levy. Yeah. Dan Levy seems to believe that brunch can solve all your problems.
Well,
I don't disagree with him.
It's really.
I
not
think
good.
you're brunching wrong.
Why don't you do me a favor and watch the show? It has nothing to do with me and my relationship to brunch.
I think it might have everything to do with your relationship
It doesn't.
with brunch.
I don't have anything against brunch.
As a matter
I'm
of fact,
not a brunchist.
He's writing a book called In Defense of Brunch. He's working. I saw him working on that.
I've got a hunch that brunch is just fine. No, I don't have anything against brunch. I'll go to a brunch. It's not something that I
bet
do
you'd
often.
complain about a brunch.
Don't try me.
What?
I'll go to a brunch.
What do you mean? I complain about?
I bet
a brunch?
it would not meet your your needs. The brunch.
What? What are you talking about? If it was a brunch of nothing but liver, yes, that would not be good.
Who would do that though?
Nobody.
Like because there's brunch buffets, but then there's just a brunch where you order off the menu.
Yeah, I don't think that's brunch.
Ordering off the menu doesn't count as brunch.
I don't
it
think
has
so.
to be a buffet.
I think kind of.
No,
Yeah.
I disagree.
I think it has to be a buffet.
Some of the more wonderful brunches I've had were off the menu.
No, but you don't, because when you go to a brunch, you want to be able to,
You go to the omelet
graze.
station.
Yeah, go to the omelet station. Go, and usually they'll have a roast beef.
When I go to brunch, I don't want to get up from my table. I want everything brought to me as though I am the king.
No. So we have our own theories about brunch, but nevertheless, the show The Big Brunch sucks.
Yes, that's what we're.
It really does.
Okay. Well, now I have to watch it. And see.
I'm not a brunchist. The judges are terrible. It's just not good.
What are they judging? The food?
Yeah, now what we want you to do here is we want you to make an egg dish that represents your personality and your goals in life. What? You know, that's
Okay, scrambled's out.
really. I mean, that's everything is kind of every dish that they do is kind of geared that way.
Well, you're poached, Bill, clearly.
Something we want you to make an egg dish that tells us about your past. What?
Historical eggs?
I mean, that's what it's like, and it's terrible. It's a terrible show. I like Brunch just fine.
Now, if I were a good morning radio DJ, I'd be writing a parody song right now, done to the tune of King of Pain by the Police, King of Brunch.
King of Brunch.
Because I am the King of Brunch.
Yes.
There's a pitcher of mimosas on the table today.
The same old.
Yeah.
I would. Well, I'm not a very good morning DJ.
No. Well, you need time to do these things.
No. All right. I don't know how long we've been doing this. It's been a very long time.
Been quite a while.
Our celebrity Deadpool game that we play every year. It's awful.
It's horrible. We're horrible people
and we are
for doing
horrible
this.
Yes, exactly. What we do is we pick 10 celebrities that we predict will die in the coming year.
Each of us pick 10
every January, and based on their age, that's how many points you score. 100 being the baseline. So if someone dies when they're 90. You get 10 points.
Oh,
you see.
Okay.
Someone dies when they're 99, you get 1 point.
Right.
So
it doesn't do you any good to pick somebody who's 100.
So the smart game is to pick a couple of people who are very young, and you cross your fingers. But I apparently won last year
with 54 points.
54 points. Bill was second, 37 points. Gina had 25 points, and Katie once again.
The second year in a row. Zero points.
Well, that means you're the most good-hearted of all of us.
Either that, or I'm really just hanging on for hopefully this year.
All right.
Carrie won, so you go first.
So this is my list.
Okay.
And I've updated it. I've taken some out that I've changed my mind about because I've seen pictures of them recently and like, no, they got another couple of years left in them.
They're fine. They're just fine. Is
Yes.
that what you're saying?
So here are my 10 celebrities for 2025. Doc Severinsen, the Tonight Show band leader.
I didn't even know he was still around.
Yep.
How old is he?
I don't know. Look it up, would you? Real quick. June Lockhart from Lassie.
Oh.
We just mentioned her this morning, didn't we?
Yeah. You know how old she is, though? She's 99.
Exactly. She's going to go this year, and I'll get 1 point. That will be like the field goal that I need.
Look, it still beats any of mine from the last 2 years.
Yes.
So,
number 3, this one I got. Frank raised what he if he had eyebrows, he would have raised them. Dave Coulier.
Oh yeah, he's been ill, hasn't he?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Number 4 for me, Harvey Weinstein.
Mm-hmm.
Number 5 for me, Bernie Capel.
Bernie Capel?
Doc from The Love Boat. Yes.
Or from Get Smart.
I always pick Phil Collins because Steph insists that I do.
Well, he'll go.
That's not a bad choice.
Yeah. Tina Louise, who is the last of the Gilligan's Island
That's
cast
true.
that we have. Tippi Hedren.
That's Melanie Griffith's mom.
Yes, Melanie Griffith's mom, Tippi Hedren. Don King. And composer John Williams.
Oh,
isn't he 90?
He's pretty.
He's up there, but he just had a documentary made about his life, so I figure he can just let it go. All right.
All right.
Bill's list. Here we go.
All right. Now, my list is the same as last year, pretty much. Although I had 2 people on my list last year die, so I had to pick 2 new ones. Last year, Phil Donahue and Shelley Duvall passed.
Yes.
So I've replaced them. But let me read the ones that are still there, and then I'll give you the 2 replacements. Marlo Thomas. She was Phil, or she is Phil Donahue's wife.
And Phil just went.
And I think, and there she.
They were very close.
They were very close.
John Biner.
Yes.
Why do I not know who John Biner is?
He's a Canadian comedian who was very prominent on Showtime, particularly, doing specials in the early days of Showtime. Very funny guy.
He did both voices for the Ant and the Aardvark cartoons.
Okay.
All right.
David Allan Coe.
Yes. Country music legend.
He needs to,
Excuse me. Racist country music legend.
I'd hate to see Dick Cavett go, but he's still on my list.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Bruce Dern.
Which is a good choice.
Julie Andrews. I don't know how she's still hanging on.
I think she's
pretty healthy.
Brian Wilson of the Beach Boys.
Yep.
Holland Taylor.
Who dat?
Holland Taylor is an actress, and she is married to.
not married. They're just
what's
together.
Her name? What's her name?
Thea the Lisp.
Yeah,
She's wonderful.
You really like her.
Just wonderful.
She was on Sarah Paulson.
Thank you,
Sarah Paulson.
I love her.
And she's not married to
No.
Holland Taylor.
Sarah Paulson is not on your list.
No, but
All
Holland
right.
Taylor.
Holland Taylor is. Okay.
Holland Taylor is quite older than Sarah Paulson. Okay. Now the new people on my list: Kim Novak.
I also thought she was gone.
She's 91, and Frank Langella.
Good choice.
Who's 87, and not well.
All right. Celebrity list for Gina.
For me, I've completely changed my list this year.
Okay.
I'm going for news people.
Oh, there is a theme here. Yes.
Or appear in the news often.
Oh, see, your last choice is a bad one, but anyway, go ahead.
Rupert Murdoch.
Be like 1 point, right?
He's 93.
Oh, okay, that's good.
Ted Turner was just in the hospital.
I had him on my list, and then Frank told me that you got him already. So
86. Tom Brokaw.
Good choice.
84. Leslie Stahl.
Will-
now, her face is only like 65.
I was going to say, will we know if she's dead?
No.
But she's like 83.
Okay.
Dan Rather. 84.
Yeah, I can see that.
George Soros.
Hey,
that's our money man.
No, you can't do that.
Rudy Giuliani.
Yes.
I can see that.
He's only 80,
but
not well.
The stress is going to kill him.
I think the hair dye is poisoning him.
Could be.
No. I'm hoping for some points here with Robert F. Kennedy Jr.
I feel you.
You're hoping he gets some raw milk that kills him?
Something.
He has questionable behavior that could get him.
Okay.
Laura Logan.
Good choice.
She's quite young.
Who's only 53, but she's kooky.
Yep.
And now here's my sad one. Here's my one I don't want.
Now, see, I think you're wrong on this one. But...
Carrie, she's got the cancer.
Who?
Christiane Amanpour. I love her. I don't want her to go, but
Gina?
she's on my list.
Gina, Christiane Amanpour will kick cancer's ass and shove it down somebody else's throat.
She's pretty tough.
Very likely could.
All right, Katie's list. Let's see.
I 0 points last year, so I pretty much am going to keep most. I kept my list. So as always, Tekashi 6ix9ine, number 1.
Which, if he goes,
I win.
We'll just cancel the.
Yeah,
we'll cancel
exactly.
it.
You know, though, I think this is diminishing returns. If they were going to get him, they would have gotten him.
I don't know. He did get beat up in a bathroom last year, and I'm going to hold on to him.
He was just in the news recently.
I'm
he got
on
beat
to
up
him.
by some people but I don't think it was the people who really wanted to kill him. He was just being a jerk.
I mean,
all right.
You never know. I don't want this, but it's there. Michael J. Fox.
I don't like a lot of your list.
I know a lot of people hate my list. I've also have Mel Brooks. He's the oldest on my list. He's like 98. Yeah. Tim Curry's also on my list. The one I do hope for, and you should like this one, Mitch McConnell.
Okay,
he's on there.
He's a good pick.
Let me say, I don't hope that anyone dies.
Number 7, Dick Cheney.
Okay.
Number 8, Alan Alda, who was struggling last year.
Was he?
He was.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
So I kept it on there. Yoko Ono.
That's like a point or two.
She's 92.
Yeah.
She'll be 92
That's
this year.
pretty good.
And then Andy Dick. He is going off the deep end and has been for a while.
Yep.
So I kind of am predicting that. And that'll be a fair amount of points. He's only 58, 59 this year. So that I held on to everybody from last year, trying to gain at least 1 point this year.
There you go. Now, someone points out that your Mitch McConnell pick is bad because turtles live for hundreds of years.
I mean,
so
150 for Crush. So
and Gina says you should have picked Sam Donaldson instead of Cristiano Amanpour.
Oh,
I thought Sam was
yeah,
gone.
I think I did too. That's why.
Well, take a look and see.
I don't know. Let's see.
All right. Well, there it is, our celebrity death pool for the year 2025.
And by the way, we all have alibis. If any of these people, we will vouch for each other, right?
Exactly.
Okay.
Sam Donaldson would have been a better pick. He's 90, but
90.
I submitted my list, so.
Yep, it's too late. Frank has carved it into stone with his finger.
With his bony.
It's his carving finger.
How do you spell Amanpour, for God's sake?
Just you can leave her off. Don't.
Here we go. So there's our celebrity dead pool for the year. Play along with us, you ghouls. All right, traffic.
Well, I don't see this on UDOT, but somebody says that there's an accident on Hillfield Road with several cars. UDOT hasn't reported it. I don't see it on the map, but I will trust Infiniteam if you say that that's happening. By Sam's Club, they say lots of traffic there. Other than that, you can text us, or if you don't like our picks and want to give us a different pick, you can text that to 33986.
All right, so we will take a break. We'll be back after these messages and a song with the Boner Recap Game. Easy to play, easy to win. All you have to do is tell us who won the Boner this morning. What is the prize?
The prize is tickets to, and I think it's a 4-pack of tickets to the Travel Expo.
Travel Expo tickets, 877-602-9696. All you got to do is tell us who won the Boner this morning. If you heard it, you know. If you didn't hear it, you could guess, but why guess when you can cheat? Go to x96.com, look for the box that says Boner of the Day, January 10, 2025. Click on there. It'll say winner next to today's winner. All you have to do is call us and tell us that information, and you'll get those prizes to the travel show. Or those tickets, 4 tickets to the travel show. 877-602-9696 is the number to call. KXRK Provo. Zero res.
There's no better feeling than starting the year with your house clean. And you not just your carpets, but your upholstery, your air ducts too. Zero res can take care of all of that. Up to 40 pounds of particles can accumulate in your carpets every year. So if you're thinking, well, I cleaned my carpets last year, no, it accumulates all the time. Get your house cleaned and tidy for the new year. And there's a special going on now that'll help you do that with Zero Res. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for just $109 and a hallway cleaned for free. Now, you have to tell them you heard about it on X96. That's how you get that special deal. And they're using their patented technology. As you know, you can get your carpets insanely clean without detergents or harsh chemicals. That helps them stay cleaner longer and also helps them dry faster. All of this is true. I use Zero Res. I have them come a couple times a year to my house, and you should too. You give them a call, 866-0RES, or go online at zerores.com to schedule your appointment.
Ben is here. He is the donut critic. Now, whenever you come to the studio, you always bring us something to sample, and I don't see.
He's empty-handed today.
I don't see anything in front of you or anything.
I am empty-handed.
He's just gonna tease us
Ben,
with tacos.
You don't have anything? Get out! Get out!
Okay.
All right.
Next time, double.
No, you tried to get tacos.
Yes, I did, and it's very hard to get tacos early in the morning.
Okay.
I mean, that's pretty obvious, though.
Yeah.
You can tell us about them, though. Tell us about them.
Yeah, and the reason why these are hard, because we're going to be talking about birria today, and birria takes a long time to roast. You know, it's those, really juicy shredded meat tacos that you're seeing in most of the taco shops.
Yeah.
And they're delightful.
And I'm actually surprised because I polled a bunch of taco lovers, and only 40% of them have tried birria tacos.
I have not.
Oh, I introduced him to our attorney Mike, and he was blown away.
What does birria mean?
So it's stewed meat, and usually it's goat, or in America, or in at least Utah, it's mainly beef.
Yeah.
But I think it's the superior taco. I think it's the best way to do tacos because it's kind of like the French dip of tacos.
Mm-hmm.
So they have the meat and the cheese on the inside that needs to be hot and fresh, and then on the outside it needs to be crispy. So in the kitchen, they actually have to do additional steps. So it's not just a taco thrown together. And that's what I really like about birria, is because you can always get a really fresh experience.
Yeah, my husband makes these, and he'll do like crock pot the meat for hours before.
Yeah, it's a process.
And then you don't just put them in a shell. Explain to
you dip them in the drippings, and then you actually crisp them up, and then put it together, and then you can put cilantro and onions and whatnot.
Like
and then
you put it in the oven, like you fill it with the meat and whatever, and then you put it back in the oven.
So is it sort of moist?
Yes.
And then it crisps up when you put it in the oven?
Yeah, so like it's just superior. Crispy on the outside, juicy and cheesy on the inside. And I want to give you my top 5 because I think this is something that all taco lovers should do in Utah this week.
Let's see if my favorite place is on your list. I'm curious.
I think this is a challenge. Okay. So number 1 on my list is Red Tacos. It's in Provo, Orem, and Lehigh, or I guess American Fork. They are the most consistent that I've ever tried.
Really?
Like I feel like their tortillas are always crispy, and the consomme is really rich and flavorful.
Okay.
Is that yours?
Nope.
Okay. Here we go. Down the list. Number 2 is Tacos Plaza. So if you're in St. George, that is a perfect spot. A lot of people on spring break right now hit Tacos Plaza in St. George. Number 3 is Del Mar. Have you ever heard of Del Mar?
I think.
Yeah, I have heard of it.
So it's a sister company of Sol Agave, and they are just really high quality. So everything, component-wise, is just amazing.
That's an American Fork.
That's an American Fork. So next one, Salt Lake County. I'm not forgetting about you. Next one is El Barril in Sandy. So it's this little place that actually started doing crepes and tacos at the same time, and it just melded these interesting flavors. Her consomme is the best I've ever tasted.
Really? Okay.
So it's in that little Union Square area, and she does mulas, where it's like tortillas, meat, cheese, and then a tortilla on top.
Okay, I'll give that place a try.
Yes, that one is honestly one of my favorites. I just went there this last week.
That sounds great.
Number 5, Los Tapatillos. So this is... I think I know actually which one is yours, and I'll talk about that in a second.
Let's see. Let's find out.
So Los Tapatillos has awesome tacos. The only thing that I would say brought them down on the list a little bit is their consomme. Usually it's not as rich and flavorful as some of the others.
Okay.
But Casa del Tamal, is that the one that you were thinking? No. Oh, I'm interested. Okay, Carrie. But Casa del Tamal used to be the top of my list, but I feel like their focus has been just like volume, and so it hasn't been as... flavorful and rich the last few times. But I know a lot of people love Casa del Tamal. They're one of the OGs in Utah.
Where are they located?
So they have one in West Valley, and then I think Taylorsville now. So
See, I'm looking for a new place now because my favorite one, I have to take points away because they've started charging me for the consomme.
Oh, no.
An extra $1 for the consomme.
Don't charge Carrie Jackson for consomme.
Well, this is their new policy, they said. Because
charge everybody else, but not Carrie Jackson.
They began to notice that this was their number 1 taco, and so they went, I think we can,
Okay, so where is this?
Santos Tacos.
Santos, okay. I do love Santo Tacos, yes.
Very, very good. And it's right close to my house, and I can get them to go, but I got to take points away for charging for the consomme.
So that's part of it. That should come with it.
Exactly. It should come with it.
Yes. No, I really like Santos. The only thing I didn't like is they were so small. I feel like they're just like very mini tacos that you were dipping. But
my wife reminds me, we've been to Casa de Tamal, but we didn't get the birria tacos there.
Yeah, so they used to be in the back of a Latin mall, and they were so good at that point, and now they have their own storefronts, and I feel like it hasn't been as good since then.
Well, charging for the consomme is like if you're getting a sandwich au jus, charging for the au jus.
Exactly.
It should come together.
I was shocked that happened.
There are a few places that are starting to do that.
Someone's asking the type of taco we're talking about. Spell for them.
Birria is Birria, and I am not saying it in the correct accent. I'm saying it how Utahns say it, so I just wanted to be very clear on that.
Okay.
But yeah, it's stewed meat, but some actually do chicken. So Red Tacos is starting to do shredded chicken because some people just don't like beef. So
I think this is an interesting note that you've put here, Ben. Cafe Rio, which is a big chain,
Yes.
started here, I think, in Utah.
it did in St. George.
But they're now doing birria.
Yeah, I saw a TV commercial.
So the masses will try it. Probably,
I was going to say
because everybody goes to Cafe Rio.
Oh yeah, this is the hot new taco. This is the
I would say I don't go to chains, and so I haven't tried it. And that's where you all can tell me how it is. So if you try it.
There are people who are addicted to Cafe Rio. It's astonishing to me.
Oh, yeah.
I've been there, and it's okay.
The flavor profiles are pretty good. I think it's the quality that has really slipped.
Now, see, I want to try the goat version.
Yeah, I feel like
all I've had is beef.
That is the next level. So if you like birria already, start trying some of the other versions.
Can you get the goat ones here?
There are a few places. There was a rumor that Red Taco was doing it every once in a while, but I would have to check. Let me put that on my list. But you can look at my list on Instagram. There's a little icon that looks like a brochure. If you click that, then you can see my birria list.
Where's your Instagram?
It's Donut Critic. So go to Donut Critic. There's a little brochure when you go to my profile. And as you hit that, you'll see even a burger list, a taco list, and all my donut lists there.
A burger list.
Now you brought a giveaway for us.
Oh, yeah. So $50 to Red Tacos, which is number one on my list, and then there's also $25 to El Barril. So
that's a lot of tacos. $50 in tacos.
It is.
If you do it right.
How do you want to get? Should we just random?
How do you want to do it, Katie?
Yeah.
A random phone call.
877-602-9696.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Ben, the Donut Critic, find him on social media. Mostly Instagram is the best place. Just search Donut Critic. Do you spell it donut or donut?
DONUT.
Oh, that's a conversation for another time.
That's another conversation.
Oh, yeah.
What is it, donut or donut?
I want to know.
That's almost as divisive as Cafe Rio.
I think it should be DOUGH.
Well, this is for
we'll
another
talk about
time.
I'm a traditionalist.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Ben.
you all.
All right.
Text at 33986. Is that
in Salem?
In Salem.
Wilson.
Because on this day, Don Letts of Big Audio Dynamite. It's his birthday today.
I remember meeting him at some festival in England.
DJ extraordinaire for Big Audio Dynamite. All the samples and all the mixing and everything.
Lovely to hear.
Yes. Let's see. 909.
Boner recap?
Oh, we don't have any.
877-602-9696. If you would like to win, and you will win, we'll make you win.
Mm-hmm.
Even if you get it wrong, we'll make you
Are we
win.
going to ram this winning down your throat?
What is the prize?
Check out the 29th Annual Morris Columbus Travel Expo, January 24th through the 25th at Mountain America Expo Center in Sandy. Explore airlines, cruise lines, hotels, and resorts at the biggest long-running travel expo in Utah.
All right.
It's a 4-pack of tickets.
4-pack. 877-602-9696. We'll get somebody to play the Boner Recap game, or I'll just tell you who won, and then I'll take the tickets.
Molly is here.
Hi, Molly.
Howdy.
All right, what are you doing, Molly?
Just getting ready for work.
Okay. That's what every young woman who calls us says. I say, what are you doing? They say, getting ready for work.
We have women that work, that listen to the Radio from Hell show.
Hey, Molly, why don't you take a day? Just take a day off.
I wish.
Oh.
I wish.
All right. Well, listen, you can find out wonderful places to travel to at the Travel Expo. You'll win this 4-pack of tickets if you tell me which one of these 3 candidates was the winner of today's Boner voting. Did you hear them earlier?
Always.
Mm-hmm. You'll be just fine then. Boner candidate number 1. He's just an example of who runs the country now, who the government is catering to now. This millionaire real estate developer in California, in Los Angeles, who tweeted out he wanted private firefighters to come and save his house. My neighbors' houses are all burning down. Can you please come? Somebody help. I can give you all this money. He's also the kind of guy who said, if you're a real estate developer like me, you don't have to pay any taxes.
And none of us should be paying property taxes, the thing that pays for the firefighters.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's number 1. Number 2, the chickens have come home to the rented roost. Poor guy in China. He fixes up this nice apartment to rent out, starts renting it out. He doesn't really check on it. A couple of years go by. People in the building where the apartment is start complaining, calling him up. There's some really bad smells and weird noises coming from that apartment you rent out. Okay, I'll come and check it out. Finds out that that chickens have been, whoever rented it has been using it as a chicken coop or a chicken roost. Then Boner candidate number 3, the Utah Father of the Year, this guy up in Weber County who, just a real piece of work. He giving his, I think it was an 8-year-old boy, a marijuana gummy. When the police finally check, they go and they find guns all over the place, drugs all over the place, and an 8-year-old kid zonked out on marijuana gummies. All right, Molly, who was the winner?
It was definitely number 3.
Yeah, the Utah Father of the Year.
All right. Hang on the line. We'll tell you how to get those home show tickets, all right?
The Travel Expo.
Travel Expo.
Yeah.
Sorry.
The Travel Expo.
Thank you.
Hang on.
It's Expo season, Carrie. I can see why you...
Yeah, it's like award season.
Thank
Expo
God
season.
we have an Expo Center.
It's a whole center just for expos.
Well, we wouldn't be able to do any expos if we didn't have the Mountain America Expo Center.
All right, coming up, we do have Boner of the Week. Speaking of boners, Boner of the Week is happening.
I haven't seen Dave for a while.
This will be our first one for the year.
Yeah.
Coming up at 9:50. Dave the Flower Guy will just come in here and tell us who out of the 5 weekly or daily boners, who is the Boner of the Week. Have that for you coming up. And let's see. Big boy news and opinioendo coming up after these messages. Stand by for all of that. UtahAdvocates.com.
It's nice that there have not been really many accidents or any at all this morning, but if you do get into an accident...
Well, here's what you do. Put the advocate's phone number in your contacts, because you might not need them today.
You mean 801-355-5550?
Yeah,
Okay.
but if you or a family member are in an accident, you want to get a hold of the advocates as soon as possible and get them involved before the insurance companies start calling you, before your medical bills start coming in.
If you have been injured or you think you're injured, even if you're not quite sure, but you think, I don't know, something's wrong here, you call the advocates 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You don't pay them a dime for the call. You don't pay them a dime out of pocket along the whole process if they take your case. They only take their part when they get you a settlement. So call them 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You'll find them very, very helpful. 801-355-5550 or UtahAdvocates.com.
Burns from The Simpsons.
Okay.
Deranged millionaires.
I got 67%.
Or billionaires.
Yeah. All right.
Okay.
I'll read you the phrase and you guys guess.
Okay.
Oppression and harassment are a small price to pay to live in the land of the free.
That sounds like Elon Musk.
Oh, oppression and spread in the land of the free. I think it's Mr. Burns.
It is Mr. Burns.
Oh, okay.
The politicians and unelected bureaucrats who stole our liberty should be tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town.
That's Elon Musk.
It's tarred, feathered, and thrown out of town. It's Mr. Burns.
Musk. I'm not the thief. The government is. Every year you make hardworking Joes like my reporter friend here pay income taxes.
Musk.
Burns.
We're just back and forth.
Yeah. If there was a way that I could not eat so I could work more, I would not eat.
Musk.
Yeah, Musk.
You're both correct. Musk.
Yeah.
I should be able to run over as many kids as I want.
Well, that's Burns, right?
Yeah.
Burns, correct.
Okay.
I should be able to run over as many children as I want.
I said Musk because of his cars. But
Smithers.
There will be no Mars if we let them take our freedom away.
Well, that's Musk.
Yeah. Since the beginning of time, man has yearned to destroy the sun.
That's Burns.
Yes, Burns.
Burns, correct. That's my lesson for taking a vacation. Vacations will kill you.
Burns.
Musk.
Family, religion, friendship, these are the three demons you must slay if you wish to succeed in business.
Burns.
Burns. I would tell those people they will get to see their families a lot when we go bankrupt.
Burns.
Musk. If you can take advantage of a situation in some way, it's your duty as an American to do it.
Burns.
Burns, correct. And finally, morons, pathetic morons in my employ, stealing my precious money.
Morons, pathetic morons in my employ, stealing my precious money, Smithers. Burns.
Yeah.
Burns, correct. Frightening.
That a couple of them it was difficult to.
That it was hard to determine.
Yep. Deranged billionaires.
Twitter still seems to be running.
Sort of.
For now. There was some guy at Harvard or one of those big schools who said he predicts a week.
Yeah, and it'll just die.
Before it just
I've heard that
implodes.
There are people who are saying it's not going to be around in a while.
I'm trying to enjoy it while I can.
I'm staying until it burns to the ground.
I am the bitter end.
He's all kinds of money lost. Billions of dollars lost already. Advertisers staying away.
It's hard to fathom, really, why he would do this.
Well, Bill, he didn't want to.
He was forced to buy it.
He mouthed off and said, "I'll buy it," and they held him to it because you can't do that and not follow.
That's the part everybody. $9:20, And it is time for Big Boy News and Opinioendo, brought to you by...
Waterproof your home with Baseco because water can make its way through your foundation in many different ways. Baseco specializes in a variety of permanent foundation waterproofing solutions tailored to your unique issue. From sump pumps all the way to major repairs, crack settling foundations, each solution backed by a guarantee. Schedule a free assessment today at baseco.net.
Well, I mentioned this earlier, but as the Los Angeles wildfires continue to consume parts of Southern California, leaving homes destroyed, families displaced, many are left wondering how all of this happened. Authorities have deployed arson investigators to the Pacific Palisades to determine the origin of the blaze that consumed thousands of structures in that neighborhood. The cause of the fire remains unknown, and it continues to be under active investigation, said Los Angeles Fire Chief Kristen Crowley. But some celebrities aren't buying it. There was an arsonist in L.A., Henry Winkler wrote on Twitter. May you be beaten, unrecognizable, the pain you have caused. Actress Allison Sweeney simply responded, agreed. Singer Chris Brown took to his Instagram stories on Thursday and wrote, someone starting these fires, don't add up. It don't add up.
Have you ever heard of wind?
Dancing with the Stars pro Petra Murgatroyd shared a tweet that was originally posted by political and cultural media personality Xavier Duraceau that reads, Los Angeles, Southern California, there are at least 5 men going around in ski masks starting fires. Keep an eye out.
That is...
TV personality Elizabeth Chambers reposting a screenshot of reports of people allegedly starting fires. Celebrity podcaster and neuroscientist Andrew Huberman sharing a video that purportedly showed people standing near what appeared to be a freshly started fire.
That's an old video, and there's community notes under it. However,
it's too late. Yeah.
No, but I mean, there are many fires happening.
Mm-hmm.
Now, there is a person in custody for one of the fires, the Kenneth fire specifically.
But there's not 5 people in ski masks.
No, those videos,
yeah.
And it's too early to know what happened.
Which is why when you see something, you shouldn't react right away.
A New York appeals court on Thursday rejected Fox Corp's attempt to be dismissed from a Smartmatic $2.7 billion defamation lawsuit filed against the media company. The UK-based voting machinery company filed the suit in 2023, citing the network's repeated attempts to bolster then-President Trump's false claims of voter fraud in the 2020 election. Fox has maintained that its network should not be liable for repeating the claims made by Trump's attorneys because it was acting in a journalistic capacity. Fox agreed to pay Dominion Voting Systems $787.5 million in 2023 to settle a similar lawsuit brought by the voting technology company. We will be ready to defend this case surrounding extremely newsworthy events when it goes to trial, they say. We'll see. Alec Baldwin is suing. He's filed a civil lawsuit for malicious prosecution and civil rights violations in the fatal shooting of cinematographer on the set of the Western movie Rust.
I kind of think, Alec, you should just count your blessings and let this go.
A lawsuit was filed Thursday at State District Court in Santa Fe, where a judge dismissed a charge of involuntary manslaughter against Baldwin. Baldwin alleges defamation in the suit. He's not the kind of guy who will let this go. Saying that prosecution investigators intentionally mishandled evidence as they pursued the case.
I don't think that Alec is directly responsible for this woman dying.
I don't think his lawsuit will not go anywhere either, and it's just going to keep it in the public eye.
That's what I'm saying.
When he should just let it go.
Just let it go.
Let's see. Well, this is interesting. The British Museum has cracked a 4,000-year-old murder plot. Babylonian kings routinely sacrificed royal stand-ins to avoid eclipse prophecies.
I want this movie. Where's this movie?
From the museum's collection of 130,000 Mesopotamian clay tablets, 4 texts tell the story. The tablets, written in Old Babylonian. That's why I couldn't read them. I read New Babylonian, but they were written between 1900 and 1600 BCE. They contain humanity's earliest known eclipse omens, 61 terrifying predictions. These predictions were not superstition, but state doctrine in old Babylonia. The sky and the earth are mirror images, explains University of London astrologist Andrew George. So events in the sky had counterparts in events on the earth. The predictions paint a grim picture. Eclipses could herald anything from famine to locust swarms. One passage warns that an eclipse occurs on the 15th day of the first month. People will sell their infant children for silver. All of these threats. So to combine these threats, elaborate precautions were taken. First, priests would examine sacrificed animal entrails for more favorable signs. If danger still loomed, the king would go into hiding while a substitute would take the throne. So a stand-in for the king. Once the threat passed, the real king would return, and his temporary replacement would be executed to dispel any lingering evil. This, to me, I think what they were onto something here. I think we ought to start looking into this.
It's not a job you want, though.
Well,
I'm the substitute king this week. Yeah.
So speaking of Babylon, since you brought it up, Muhammad, my son, not the prophet, got in a little fender bender and had to pay out the person that he hit. And his punishment for this is earning back money different ways, doing chores and things.
Mm-hmm.
But also, Joe, my husband, assigned him reading, and he's having him read The Richest Man in Babylon, which is a book about parables about how to manage your money. And we have a reading time every night, and we have like a book club where we talk about it. This is part of his punishment.
Gosh, that sounds fun.
It's super fun.
I have that book, but the graphic novel version.
Yeah.
Elon Musk's biographer has warned
he's crazy
that Elon is going mad and could endanger us all.
Yes.
The owner of Twitter, X, has been writing unhinged comments and reacting to posts on his platform, including criticizing the United Kingdom government after it rejected a call for a public inquiry into the grooming scandal in the Oldham. Musk has also targeted Keir Starmer, who and that's the prime minister now, who falsely claimed that he had failed to bring what many term rape gangs to justice when he was the director of public prosecutions. The scandals, Musk said on Friday, represent a massive crime against humanity. Well, there's no evidence to support any of the things that Musk is saying. Now, Musk's biographer, Seth Abramson, says he believes that Elon is going mad. I legitimately believe he may be going mad. I am a Musk biographer who has been tracking his online behavior for the past few years, and given that he's admitted to all of his mental illnesses, heavy drug use, and crippling stress, it's now reasonable to fear that he is deeply unwell.
Mm-hmm.
I think there may be something to this.
Oh, yeah.
His private struggles would not be of general concern, except that they have dramatic public consequences.
Exactly.
His holdings across many civilization-essential industries, and the fact that he's the incoming he's the incoming POTUS means that his madness and increasing incitement of violence endanger us all.
Yep.
He's calling him the incoming president of the United States.
Well, he
sort
is.
of.
Yeah. Or
He'll be right there anyway.
He's at least the first lady.
He suffered a mental breakdown after facing angry boos at Dave Chappelle's San Francisco show in December of 2022.
Yep.
The comic brought him on stage just 2 months after Musk purchased Twitter, when he was filmed being booed by a large part of the audience. This guy says, yeah, I think he's really there. He may self-harm or he's just going to continue to spiral out of control and do things that will hurt others.
Mm-hmm.
That would be my guess.
He has enough money to make things difficult for all of us.
Yeah.
Let's see what else we have here. Prince William. Apparently, they say people who watch the royals say he's seizing power from his cancer-stricken father, King Charles, as he nears his ascension to the throne.
I think he's I don't think he's seizing power. I think
he's
Prince Charles is like, I'm not well, and we should probably start talking about some things.
That's probably
I think
right,
that's
because
what
he's
it is.
not been well, yeah.
Well, these people think that Charles does not want to give up the power, and that William is sort of pushing him to do it. You know, Dad, you're not going to be here forever. It's a delicate balance, I suppose, but you know, I really don't care in the long run.
All right. Weather?
So today, beautiful. We'll cloud up a little bit later on, and that's because we have a storm coming in. About an 80% chance of snow. Not too much down here in the valley. The mountains are going to see some, though. So
when is this supposed to start?
Like 8 p.m.
Tonight?
Mainly? Yeah, later.
Overnight.
Overnight tonight into tomorrow. 60% chance tomorrow. High today of 38, tomorrow 35. Lingering chance of snow, only 20% though, going from Saturday into Sunday. And then it looks like we're clear for the first part of next week. That's your weather.
Thank you very much.
Listen to Radio from Hell.
Wrote this down for you. Syphilis is on the rise, increasing 75% since 2017. I know that's your favorite venereal disease. So syphilis is on the rise, and to top it off, there's a shortage of penicillin. So,
wow, we're doomed.
It's the
then.
perfect storm, isn't it?
Yeah.
Speaking of diseases, I sent you this story, Bill.
The vampire.
Yeah.
I was going to save it for tomorrow,
Oh,
but we can
okay.
talk about it now if you want.
What's going on?
Vampire facials.
So they're
Oh, is this back again?
well, but this is bad news. I mean, I don't think vampire facials
Well, it's
were
bad
ever
for me. I was going to get one.
were ever a good idea. But New Mexico health officials say new HIV infections have been linked to a salon that performed vampire facials almost 5 years after the business closed. It was called the VIP Spa. I think Bill made this a boner candidate when it first came out.
Seems to me.
Yeah.
that's
Now,
good.
remind everybody what the vampire facial is.
I mean, it's kind of what it sounds like.
It was a ridiculous trend.
Yeah,
They take your own blood,
supposedly.
and then they
So
inject it under the skin of your face.
Yeah, the procedure involves drawing blood from elsewhere in the body, typically the arm, separating out the platelet-rich plasma, pricking facial skin with microneedles, and then applying plasma to the face. I don't understand why anybody ever thought
It's
this was-
ridiculous. These trends happen, and there's no science behind them. It's just,
So the health department says they're not clear how the HIV was transmitted, but my guess is she was just using the same needles over and over again.
that would be exactly.
They say that the department, the health department, says that that actually the procedure is not really that dangerous if you follow what
It's stupid.
It's stupid.
if you do what you're supposed to do. Yeah, and I don't see that there's any evidence that it does what it's supposed to. Makes you look better.
I mean, I'm all about new product. I like product.
Product.
What do you mean by that?
Product, like goops and serums and lotions
Have
and
you got a
potions.
closet full of goops and serums?
Yes.
That you
I
use,
am a big fan of.
that you use briefly and then stop?
Depends. Some of them I end up loving. I try lots of different things, and some of them I get are my favorites, and others I go, that was dumb. I can't believe I spent money on that. It's not always the most expensive thing.
No.
That's the. So one of the goops and serums I bought recently is this eyebrow serum.
Well, I bought that for my wife.
But I bought the $15. The company's
The
called
knockoff version?
No, the company's called The Ordinary, and their whole thing is, you're being fed a load of crap from these beauty companies. We can make things just as good,
which you are being fed
for
a load
cheap.
Yeah.
And my daughter, who has gorgeous skin, that's her. She uses all their products.
She's young, Gina.
She swears by
Gina,
them.
she's under 20.
But so I bought we talked about this last week, I think, about eyebrow stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And she said they have this, Ordinary has this eyebrow serum. It's working for me. $15.
Well, now, what is it supposed to do?
It's supposed to encourage
encourage growth.
Yeah, it's not like fake growing hair. It just makes it.
If only you were a male over 50, because eyebrows just tend to take over.
Yeah.
I got one single one here that'll grow out like
just one.
Just one. I mean, they all grow, but there's one that gets real crazy.
If I were to let mine go, look like Andy Rooney.
Do you ever notice how your eyebrow hair?
I can't get mine to stop.
What's the name of that company, Gina?
The Ordinary.
The Ordinary.
We need this.
I think that important films made by filmmakers who support independent films and the film community by filming the films that they film, filmically with film.
All right.
We're talking about film, apparently.
We have a filmmaker.
Yes, he is. His name is Trent Harris. Good morning, Mr. Harris.
Good morning. Happy to be here.
Trent Harris, local filmmaker and eccentric, I would say.
Yes.
You don't consider yourself eccentric at all, though, do you?
No, you guys are the nuts.
Trent is here to, on behalf of himself and the Salt Lake Film Society, because you're going to be showing two of your films at the Broadway.
Actually, I showed one last week, too. Beaver Trilogy was last week. Tonight is Plan 10 from Outer Space.
Yay! Great movie.
It's maybe one of the best films that's ever been made.
Anywhere, by anybody.
Well, that's what the critics are saying.
How many years ago did you make Plan 10 from Outer Space?
It premiered 30 years ago, almost to the day. It premiered at Sundance.
Mm-hmm.
And it's, I can't believe it's been that long.
When do you sit now? When you show it, like you'll show it on the big screen, and will you sit and watch it?
No, I've seen it.
You still like it?
I love this movie, quite frankly. It's still, I can't believe how well it holds up. It's found a whole younger audience, and
for people that don't know about it, explain it.
Well, it's a sci-fi science fiction epic based on Mormon doctrine, where Karen Black stars in it, and she comes back. She's Brigham Young's 28th wife. She's queen of from outer space, and she comes back, and she is pissed.
She's upset with the images, with how things are going here in Zion.
She's just upset. Period.
Yeah,
it's just her nature.
Karen Black, wonderful actress.
Oh, I miss her. She was so great.
Yeah, and I just can't get out of my mind. I think it's Pat. What's Pat's last name?
Collins.
Pat Collins. Pat Collins' bare ass at the. Standing in Temple Square at the.
No, it wasn't Temple Square. It was the This Is the Place monument,
that's
and he's
right.
Streaking. So that should get quite an audience there.
Absolutely.
It's sort of based. Well, it's not really based on, but Plan 9 from Outer Space.
No, it doesn't have anything to do.
Doesn't
with
have
Plan
anything
9,
to do with
other
it.
than they tried to sue me. Yes, really.
Ed Wood's estate tried to sue you.
Yeah, it was this jackass. Anyway, that went nowhere.
Yeah. So you're showing that tonight. What time is it at the Broadway?
7 and 9.
2 showings. You can get tickets at probably at
slfstix.org.
It's the dance club versions of the Mormon hymns that I appreciate.
Oh, if you could hide
If
a
you could hide a
kolob in the disco, isn't that a great? That is a great scene.
I love that.
And then next week, probably the movie that people know you most for, or
run out of a lot.
It's Reuben and Ed.
Yes,
with Crispin Glover and Howard Hessman.
That may actually even be a greater film than Plan 10 from Outer Space.
I don't
know.
They're your children.
When I saw it, I was blown away by how funny and quirky and great it really was.
Oh, well, thank you.
It's just it's my cat can eat a whole watermelon.
Yeah, you can't believe how many times I've heard that.
Yeah.
You know?
It's just very, very quirky, and it all holds together. And
yeah, gee, that's been a long time ago too. That was actually made before Ruben and Ed.
Before Plan 10.
Or I mean, before Plan 10. Yeah.
Yeah. And that's next week at the Salt.
Yep, that'll be next Friday. So tonight's Plan 10, and then next Friday is Ruben and Ed.
Yeah, I'm sorry that we should have talked about the Beaver trilogy, because which was last week, because that's really a remarkable movie, a meditation on this kid that you met,
Beaver, Utah.
From Beaver, Utah. What was his name?
Groovin' Gary.
Groovin' Gary, real guy, and there he's part of it in the beginning, and then let's see, who's Sean Penn?
Yeah, the first part's a documentary, and then the second part is Sean Penn basically playing the kid, and then the third part is Crispin Glover basically playing the kid, and then the three of them are hooked together, and it becomes a completely different animal.
Yeah. If people want to see that, they couldn't. Where can they buy it or get it? Or?
Well, you can get stuff off my website, but I really don't stream very many movies.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't do it. But.
Ken Sanders Rare Books.
Ken's got it.
Sells a bunch of DVDs.
That's true. And then I've got a website that's once in a while people buy. It's funny, people think DVDs are dead, and they're not really. You'd be surprised how many people collect them.
Media.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
It's true.
So what's your website?
EchoCave.net.
EchoCave.net.
Yeah, or you just go to Trent Harris Films.
And is that where you're streaming Delightful Water Universe?
Yes,
right now?
the one that you starred
Isn't
in.
that the best film you've ever done?
It is. I think it might be.
It's kind of a toss-up.
Well, it's one of the greatest performances in any of your films. Of course.
Not Sid Vicious. What was
Scott
it?
Vicious.
Scott Vicious.
I play Scott Vicious. My character's name is Scott Vicious.
And what was the other movie I made? And your name was Mean Fred.
That was
typecast him.
Scott Vicious, and then I played Mean Fred in
Welcome to the Rubber Room.
That's right.
Yes.
Welcome to the Rubber Room.
You're actually a really good actor.
Well, thanks.
I think he really is a good actor.
What's he doing here then?
Acting. I'm acting like I like you, Gina. And Trent Harris is a really good director. Are you working on anything directorially wise?
Well, I just finished a movie. It's a short, but it's pretty great. It's called Revenge of the Virgins.
Okay.
And I put it up on. This is one of the few things I did try to stream, and I put it up on YouTube, and they yanked it down and put me in YouTube jail.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
I don't.
Why did they do that?
I guess virgins. I don't know. They don't believe in them, or what?
They're not a thing.
Well, if you want to see Plan 10 from Outer Space, and I would urge you to see it.
Yes.
And it's I mean I don't think I've seen it on the big screen. I have a DVD of it.
Oh yeah. Well, you should get the Blu-ray. It's actually much better.
I saw it at the premiere.
Oh, did you go up to Park City?
In the theater, yeah. I saw it in the theater.
So that's tonight at the Broadway. You can get tickets at SLFS Tix.
SLFX Tix. SLFS Tix.
That's what I was saying. Yeah. SLFSTix.org. Or you can let's get
just
them that
come
way.
and buy one.
Yeah, come and buy one at the door. Or Ruben and Ed next Friday.
Next Friday, yeah.
All right. Thank you very much.
Trent Harris.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay.
Rock on, Pioneers.
Indeed. We will take a break. We'll be back after these messages with your and a song with your boner of the week. Stand by. Did you?
And this is time for Beat Gina. Beat Gina, the world's greatest game show. There's no question. Oh, I'm Johnny Ola, by the way, your announcer. There is no question that thicker is better when it comes to burgers and shakes. But what does that have to do with revolvers?
Uh-huh.
Not much. The fact is, when you're talking about handgun design and quality, thicker doesn't mean better or stronger. It just means bulkier.
Yeah.
At Smith & Wesson, we know the difference. That's why we use the more expensive forging process to build our revolver frames. Forging allows us to take advantage of steel's natural strength. That means we don't have to add extra bulk to make our guns strong and resilient. What results is a revolver design that's lean and sleek. People who are serious about handguns know the difference, too. And when they order a burger, they want it to be thick and juicy. But when they want a revolver, they want it to be lean and tough.
Well,
just like a Smith & Wesson. And speaking of lean and tough, just like a Smith & Wesson, here's your host, Carrie Jackson.
If I had $1 for every time I was described that way, I would have $1.
Oh.
Let's see. The randomizer will pick a contestant right now. It looks like Mike is who you'll be playing against, Gina. Mike, are you there?
I am.
Hi,
What's
Mike.
up, Abby? She can hear my voice right now, I bet.
Oh.
That's my sister. She hates it.
Okay. All right, then.
And if I don't win today, I'm going to go around handing out icky thumps to everyone I see.
Well,
wow.
All right,
Okay.
Mike, calm down. This is it.
This is serious.
This is fair play. All right, so
I know.
we'll start with, as you can see, if you're watching us on our YouTube channel, you can see this is a coin, an actual coin. I'm going to ask you to call it heads or tails, Mike. This is heads. This is tails. Okay?
Tails.
Tails? All right.
Yep.
It is, in fact, heads. So that's fair play there.
So you are one step further away from winning these tickets to see Soul Coughing September 20th at the Depot.
Because she won the toss, she goes first, Mike. That means the first question is for Gina to
Good
answer
luck.
on her own. And if she gets it right, she gets the point. If not, Mike, I will allow you to answer the same question and steal the point away. We'll go back and forth till one of you gets 3 points. Now, if she beats you, what are you prepared to do in her name, Mike?
Hand out icky thumps.
All right. Let's see. Let's begin with the first question. It's Tron trip. Mike.
Mike's favorite audience is Mike.
Apparently, yeah.
Okay, I'm listening for the question.
All right. Here we go. First, this
Yeah, I'm here.
this is Tron trivia. Yeah, we know you're there, Mike. We can't help it. All right, hang on. First question, Tron trivia for Gina. In the original Tron movie,
Okay.
in the initial scenes with Flynn in the arcade at the beginning of the film,
Okay.
before he's sucked into the video
Right.
games, he's playing a game that he invented. What is the name of the game that he is playing that he invented?
Okay.
Is it 1, Billy Graham's Bible Blaster? Is it 2, Tandem Bike Ride with Your Mom? Is it 3, Space Paranoids? Or 4, Dash Dingo?
Don't know. Dash Dingo.
You'd like to think that it
No.
was Dash Dingo.
Here you go.
Terribly sorry.
Mike, just what you wanted.
It's C. Space Paranoid.
Space Paranoids is correct.
There you go. Number 1 point for Mike, and Mike controls the question. Here we go.
All right, Mike, here's your question. Why did many Disney animators refuse to work on the movie Tron? Why did they refuse? Disney animators didn't want to work on it. 1, they feared that computers would put them out of business.
Oh.
Was it 2, there was an animator union strike at the time? Was it 3, they still had PTSD over that black hole thing from a few years? We're not doing that.
Terrible movie. That was terrible.
Or was it 4, even they knew that Tron would suck?
Oh, man. I'm going to pick number 2.
The animator strike? No. Yeah. Terribly sorry.
They worried
Good
about
guess.
computers taking over their jobs?
It was a very big fear.
All right.
Very big fear at the time.
1-1. Gina controls the question.
Gina?
Mm-hmm.
Gina, the Wilhelm scream.
Oh. There it is.
There it is. The Wilhelm scream.
Yes.
Where do you hear the Wilhelm scream in Tron Legacy?
Okay.
Is it 1?
By the way, this could be a question in every movie trivia.
Where do you hear the...
Yeah.
That's not bad. Where do you hear the Wilhelm scream in Tron Legacy?
All right.
Is it 1, when C-3PO is pushed off the cliff by sand people? Is it 2, when Maximilian kills Anthony Hopkins with his spinning hand blades? Is it 3, when the final light cycle is destroyed? Or 4, when Sam Flynn kills the last guard before entering the flying ship's cockpit?
I'm going 4.
4 is correct.
And there you are.
Wow.
2-1. But, Mike, you're still in the game, and you could tie it up.
Mike, here's your question. What classic arcade game makes a graphical and audible cameo on Sark's control screen just after the light cycles escape the game grid? This is from the... yeah. Is it 1, Tetris? Is it 2, Lee Carvalho's putting challenge? Is it 3, Pac-Man? Or 4, Death Kill City 2, Death Kill Stories?
What were the first 3 again? Let's see, Tetris, Pac-Man, and what was the other one?
Number 2 is Lee Carvalho's putting challenge.
Man, what the heck is that even?
It's
These
putting.
are all real, too, aren't they?
It's putting.
Yeah.
2 of them are
I'm
not
gonna say
real.
number 2, Pac-Man. I'm going to say Pac-Man. I have no clue. That's a deep
That's
one.
number 3, but there you go.
All
Pac-Man
right.
is correct.
Pac-Man, the game is tied. You tied it up, Mike.
Okay.
Gina.
Yes.
Let's see. Let's go with this one. Why was Jeff Bridges forced to wear a dance belt
Well,
in the original?
do tell.
Same reason I wear one every day.
Was it 1, all the running and jumping involved made him chafed?
Uh-huh.
Was it 2, too much of a bulge? Was it 3, well, there was a musical version shot at the very same time with dance numbers and everything?
That one.
Master
It's that one,
control, master control. Or was it 4, trick question, Jeff always wears a dance belt because he likes them?
I'm guessing they were trying to restrain an obvious bulge.
Oh.
You win the game.
51. Oh, my. Sorry about that. Time to award boner of the week.
Well, it's David Madsen. Hi, Dave.
Hi.
Hi. It's been a while since we've seen you. A couple of weeks, huh?
A couple of weeks.
Yeah, you doing okay?
Yep.
Now you have a birthday coming up. Is that right?
Yeah, Sunday.
On Sunday is Dave's birthday, and so you're going to have a big celebration.
Sort of.
He's going to go over to Dave and Buster's.
Buster's.
At Dave and Buster's, and are they letting you play games for free?
No, but they give me a
little pass.
Little pass.
Oh, well, good. Maybe they'll do a cake for you or something.
Yeah.
All right. Well, happy birthday.
Then I have an Xbox S-Series for sale.
For sale.
For sale. You want to sell an Xbox?
Yeah.
For your birthday.
Yeah, but I got 2. I don't need 2.
Oh,
No,
I see.
you can only play one at a time.
Well, if you see Dave around town, ask him about his Xbox.
It's
for
over
sale.
at Ivy's.
Oh, it's at Ivy's.
Oh, okay.
She'll sell it. Okay.
All right.
And Dave is he's turning 22.
No,
on his birthday.
66.
Oh, well, I was close. All right, you ready to do Boner of the Week?
Yep.
If you see Dave around town, by the way, buy flowers from him. Okay?
Oh, yeah.
All right, here we go. Boner candidate number 1 from Monday, or Monday, if you will. He's a petulant baby. This past Sunday, President Biden ordered the flags flown at half-staff for the death of Jimmy Carter, former President Carter. And Donald Trump's very upset about that because the flags will be at half-staff during his inauguration. That's not fair. It's not fair.
Nobody wants this.
Boner candidate number 2 from Tuesday. House Speaker Mike Johnson, a pious liar. He claimed he was quoting directly from President Thomas Jefferson, this daily prayer. Jefferson said this prayer before every day when he was president, and he said this prayer every day until the day he died. No, he didn't. The prayer wasn't even written until the 1900s.
But you can just say things.
Yep.
Boner candidate number 3 from Wednesday. He should resign immediately. Justice Sam Alito, who there was a pretty big Supreme Court decision that came down yesterday that said Donald Trump has to go to his sentencing, which he did. So the Supreme Court justices should not be talking to Donald Trump. But Sam Alito had a phone call with Donald Trump. Well, it was just to discuss a law clerk of mine that they wanted to know if he would be good to work at the White House. You're right. Boner candidate number 4 from Thursday. Well, it's the same one. Wednesday and I don't know. They've misdone. They have Wednesday Sam Alito and they have Thursday Sam Alito. So I don't know what Thursday was yesterday. I can't remember that far back. I'd have to look.
The website say.
And then Boner candidate number 5 from Friday was, well, the one we had today, Utah Father of the Year. And I kind of think I know which one Dave is going to pick, no matter. It's not going to be Alito, and it's not going to be yesterday. Which one do you want?
Today's.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
More than likely,
the
yeah.
Father of the Year.
All right, that's your boner of the day, or the boner of the week, excuse me.
I think that's the first time that I've ever noticed they've done that. They're usually, Katie and the people in the producer's booth are very accurate with these.
We've had intern training and stuff, so that could happen.
There was really not an explanation needed. They just made a mistake. That's all. And, everybody makes a mistake.
Of course.
But this is the first time I've ever noticed they've made a mistake on this one.
All right. You got the promo there?
Let me see if I do. Yep. That's it right there.
Okay. Let's do the promo and crawl towards the exits.
Okay, you guys, we need to do something different this weekend so we can talk about it on Monday's Radio from Hell show.
I'm just sticking close to home.
Well, I don't want to go anywhere.
I don't either, but we need something to talk about.
How about we just watch some shows?
Cook some food.
Sleep in.
Yeah.
Actually, that all sounds perfect. We'll recap all of that excitement on Monday's Radio from Hell show here on X96.
Oh, I saw a great TV show last night. American Primeval.
Oh, is it? Oh, that's
started watching that. I just watched the first episode.
Mountain Meadows Massacre.
And it starts out with that, and it's
good.
Yeah, it's really intense, very well done. Action, good acting, setting is beautiful. I mean, it's quite grim, but it's very well done. American Primeval. It's on Netflix, I believe.
All right. Okay, I think we're good. I think we got all of our business taken care of. Is that right, Katie? All right. Fine job as always, Katie. Live long and prosper, bitches.
Don't you know who I am?
My cat can eat a whole watermelon.
Gravy Legs is next.
Artie Pumpkin.